By the Sunwell.
There's a minute and a half on ads left still, but this happened, so I thought I'd switch over. Good morning. You know, look, there are plentiful benefits to living in Australia and a handful of drawbacks. This is one of the drawbacks. Hi. It's currently 4:42 a.m. I have not slept. I've tried, but my body was like, I have to get up soon. I'm like, yeah, fucking, yeah. I am not going to the city day. I will die. And from what I understand, nobody wants that. Yeah. Well. I am considering going for a very long walk to the local hub and getting some like lunch or bubble tea or something like that. But part of my brain is like, yeah, but it's not worth the like half-hour walk there and the half-hour walk back. And I'm like, but isn't it? Like, if it means mental health, maybe it's actually worth it for me to get out of the house and go buy some tasty shit. Maybe I should do that. Oh. Fuck. Should probably do the standard greeting shit, shouldn't I? You were chatting before, like... It's fine. So I tuned in and I could see from 4:15, Mike saying I'm here again. Kenzie was also here. Zam lurking. Weirdly, it's the reverse of a normal stream. It's just gone 5 p.m. and it's early morning for Fear. It's very early morning for me. I know for some people 4:44 is not that early, but for me it's early. Currently 4:17 a.m. It was when you said that. Correct. And I'm sat ready, large Harry Potter heat, changing Marauders map mug of Earl Grey to gluten-free caramelized apple pies. That sounds delightful. Now I want an apple pie. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go for a wander. I am so tired. Out of apple pies, I say out of apple pies, there are 4 more downstairs along with 2 deep filled mince pies. You know, I'm assuming you mean mince as in Christmas mince pies, not mince pies as in beef mince. Oh! Yes. Cause yeah, when I was a kid, I hated mince pies. I just, didn't like them, but then my taste changed and now I like a fuck ton of spice. And I mean spices, not spiciness. Yeah, good. Rip Fear's sleep, what is dead may never die. You're not wrong. Yes, Kenzie Sam does have a point there. I used to be able to get up before 6, go to work, come home and game until after 11. Then I got older and now I'm up at 4:15 weekdays, usually in bed before 9. Yeah. Used to be able to sleep 12 plus hours at a time. I'm lucky if I can sleep more than 5 hours without being woken up in pain. That blows. That really sucks. If you're in Australia, I would suggest going to the GP because so many of them in Australia specialize in chronic pain these days. There are actual things that can be done, but American healthcare. So, you know, so here you are. Well done, Zam with first, Mike with 1,700 in first, and then between them, Kenzie's also here. Well done. For the big announcement is Pandaria Classic. I will riot. Let's do this, Stewie. Yas, fair stream at work. Weird hours. Why is Family going live? It's 4 AM. Forgetting there's a Warcraft Direct. There is. Exalt, thank you for the resub at tier 2. 10 months, my god. Good night has gone well so far. Almost finished work for the night. I'm looking forward to what the future of WoW holds. My night has been attempting to sleep. It didn't work, and that's okay. Mobile Plunderstorm, since they established that we have... Oh no. Oh no, I've just invested 15k gold in the Moonguard economy buying cheap Dark Green decks to take care of all my catch-up points in enchanting. My god. Good evening, Zam. Coffee, Verbo, well done. 10:42 AM for me. Lucky you, Stu. Lucky you. I too have not slept. I would be very sad if Fear died. So, well, I mean, I would say so would I, but I'd be dead and I'd be incapable of emotions. So, you know, not allowed to die. No, I agree. I agree. Have not slept either, but I'm in UK, so stream ended midday-ish, and it's late afternoon now. Yes, time zones are fucking weird. We'd like to inform Fia's legal team that dying is against Twitch toss only if it's on camera. Hey Kara, welcome back. Hope you're doing well today. Hello Kat, welcome back to you too. I was about to say good morning, hope you had enough sleep. Went to sleep at like 4 PM, woke up about 3 hours ago. Just completely forgot this was happening, thought it had already happened. Nope, it me. Hi, hello. Hi Daz! Ready for the direct, how are you doing? Tired, but I'm alright. I'm in my, this is my Twitch bathrobe. Where's this bit? Hey, and I've got my Twitch slippers on as well. I'm attempting to be warm and snuggly. Trying to maintain the bed warmth. Christmas pies, yes, delicious. Fucking love them now though. God, I can smash a whole thing and that's not good. Hello Mercury, welcome back. I know it's surprising, it doesn't happen often. Plot twist, they're doing a 5-month early April Fool's Day joke and they're not going to announce anything. That's funny. American healthcare is an oxymoron. Oof. People have phones. What? Good morning, Gamer. Good morning, Bad. Welcome back to both of you. Doctor actually gave me a good pill that works and isn't a pain pill because my issue is nerve issues, not exactly pain. Gotcha. Yeah, like my brain will grab any pain in my body and amplify and echo until it's unbearable, and this stops that. That's amazing. I hope it doesn't cost you $1,700 a day. Because again, American healthcare. Is Jasrith up and watching this on his PC? No, he is smart and sleeping and will get the Fear cliff notes. Yeah, no, he is asleep. Well, he drives a forklift and has to deal with multiple ton heavy things and, you know, all that kind of shit at work. He needs to be safe. He also needs to drive a very long way to work and then a very long way home from work. He needs to not be sleep deprived. Him being sleep deprived would be incredibly dangerous to a lot of people. So Yeah, no, he's still asleep. Well, okay. I say he's still in bed. I don't know if he's actually asleep or not, but that's. It costs me nothing. I have no idea what it costs the state. The benefit of having zero income is qualifying for benefits. Silver linings, right? Silver linings. I am so glad that you have access to stuff that helps. Like, unbelievably glad. Because, look, I'm lucky enough that at the moment I don't experience chronic pain. Experience chronic other things. But at the moment I don't experience chronic pain, and but I have in the past. And fuck, I'm right there with you. It, like, seriously, dude. Yeah, I'm really, really glad to hear that you've got access to something that helps.
I mean, like, it's cliche, but it's such a dream come true of being able to create the things that brought me so much happiness over the years.
Until I landed here in Irvine and went into the Blizzard campus, I literally didn't believe it was happening. I went into my office, and on the door sign against my door, it said Chris Metzen. So I just saw him going into the room one day, and I completely geeked out.
It's so strange coming into work and realizing, oh, I work on this thing now. I get to contribute to the world in whatever way that I can, and then seeing it go live in game, whether that's a couple months afterwards or even up to a year after I finish the task, seeing people react to it it's amazing, honestly.
For me, playing with my friends is probably the best part of World of Warcraft. Like, a lot of the memories I have growing up were just things I did with my friends.
I really like the communities in our games, especially in World of Warcraft. I've made a lot of friends. Definitely some of my closest friends are people that I've met playing World of Warcraft. I've gone to a few different weddings of people that I met playing WoW.
WoW means a lot to me. I met my wife playing World of Warcraft, so it is a game that means an awful lot to me personally.
I met my wife through the game. She asked if we wanted to play arena together. We talked more than play, so I got to know her a little better. And many years later, we have a family together, and we're still playing WoW.
I would say there's maybe a good 50 to 100 people that I've come across and stayed connected with in my personal life and in professional life, that we really strengthened our bond playing World of Warcraft together.
Working on Hearthstone and just in the Warcraft franchise and at Blizzard in general is something I've always dreamed about.
To work on this game that I've played and been a fan of for most of my adult life, it's a dream come true. I think to work on World of Warcraft was something I could have never imagined.
My job entails as a senior test analyst, being on the team, working on Warcraft Rumble. It's an incredible experience. And again, since I love the game anyways, I have the passion for it, right? So I love to just be a part of that whole experience.
I work in localization. I play on the Taiwanese realm, so I see firsthand players all over the world able to enjoy the game in the language that they are used to. It is a great feeling to see that.
Way back in the day, I was 12 years old, and somehow I ended up in a guild with a bunch of guys that were in their late 20s. They really enjoyed outdoor PvP, and even though I was a lower level, I would still join them from time to time, let them use me as bait for Alliance players. My favorite memory is actually when I dueled my guild master on his out. I managed to beat him, and then for the first time ever, I unmuted my mic, and with the most high-pitched, squeaky, prepubescent voice, I told him, "How does it feel getting beaten by a 12-year-old?"
We had what we call computer time. So like our parents would ration how much time we would have for using a computer, where we'd have like 2 hours on, I would have like 2 hours on a Monday, Ryan would have 2 hours on a Tuesday or something. So yeah, we would have to trade off in that sense. Some days we might trade hours or... Yeah, we used to sometimes save some of our allowance money to buy hours from each other to have more computer time.
My first game was Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos in the Warcraft universe. And then from there, I expanded beyond to the Frozen Throne. I have a lot of memories playing a lot of custom games. You know, a lot of those tower defense games that are super fun.
I was one of the main healers in our raid group. And I was home for the summer from college, and my parents had just gotten a puppy. And I was like, oh, my puppy's been really quiet. That's unusual. And I kind of leaned over past my laptop, and she had gotten into one of my artist pens, and she just had ink everywhere. And me naturally being like, you know, worried because I thought one of the ink pens was toxic. I was like, oh my God, my puppy's gonna die. Did not explain further than that, threw the laptop and wiped our entire raid. And that's one of my favorite stories of how my puppy killed 25 people in World of Warcraft.
I loved PvP, and I think I went on a 10-win streak once. I'm not that good, but I love it. And I think I went on a 10-win streak once in the arena, and I didn't even think about it. It just happened, and it was pretty awesome.
I still remember the first time I went to BlizzCon. It was the 2017 BlizzCon. I was really excited. First time getting to see all of these big announcements for all these different games live.
I've been mired in Azeroth since the RTS days, and I haven't left since.
I've been playing World of Warcraft for about 15 years now, which is pretty wild to think about.
I have been playing the same character, human frost mage, for all 15 years.
Yeah, I've been playing World of Warcraft for 20 years. Actually started like early alpha and beta.
I've been playing World of Warcraft, I guess, 21 years. I started playing when I was 5 years old. A lot of our systems and our code is, 20 plus years old. I've found files that were written before I was born.
I lived in San Diego at
Holy
the time.
cow.
And I heard that there was a midnight signing, and I got signatures from everybody who was there who worked on the game previously. And it's so good connecting with people who actually signed it for me. And, we get to share in like this experience of, I was such a passionate fan. And, you signed this, and now I get to work with you as a professional.
Whether you want to just chill out and be solo and enjoy the world, or you want to like get in deep with your guildmates and like raid as hard as you can, there's a little something for everyone, and there's space for everyone to have a really satisfying experience, no matter your play style.
The future of Hearthstone's looking very bright. There's always cool new cards coming out. We've got plenty of ways for both new and returning players to get into the game.
There is magic here, and I think that magic will continue for the next 30, 40, 50 years, and I'm excited for what's to come.
Warcraft has always been my peace and my outlet.
I have such a deep love for everything inside Azeroth.
I thought, I'm gonna move on eventually, as if it was just any other game. And it wasn't.
I was a very introverted person, I was lonely, and then I accidentally stumbled upon World of Warcraft. I even ended up in a guild, and in the guild I even made some friends.
And we always come together to enjoy the moments that we create in the game, whether they're fun, competitive, or silly.
You sent me a whispering game going, my water just broke. And I said, oh my goodness, I guess we better go to hospital. And you said, nah, let's kill this dragon.
I did.
Hearthstone changed my life.
I cannot picture my life without WoW.
Oh my god!
Thank you, Warcraft, for giving everything that you gave us so far. Here's to like 100 years more.
When I say World of Warcraft saved my life, I really mean it.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Warcraft 30th Anniversary Direct. I'm Holly Longdale, the executive producer for World of Warcraft. Alongside Hearthstone, Warcraft Rumble, and the Warcraft real-time strategy games, we are all honored to be here to celebrate some big milestones with you and talk about the future. Many of us began our Warcraft adventures as players before we became developers at Blizzard. No matter which game we work on, we all share a deep love for the Warcraft universe. Today, each of the Warcraft development teams will be sharing what's coming up. Some of it next year, some just a few weeks from now, and some will even be available today. So whether you've been traversing the plains of Azeroth with a view from above, or chilling in the Hearthstone Tavern, sorting out your minis for your Rumble machine, or pursuing Xalatath in Khazalgar, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Now, what better place to begin than with the games that started it all? Here's Brad Chan from the Warcraft RTS team.
It's kind of funny how life ends up. I actually never thought about ever being a developer. When I was younger, I just wanted to play video games. Back in 2007, I was at a regional qualifier playing a game called Warcraft 3. After I qualified for the tournament, someone came up to me, gave me his card, and was like, hey, we're looking for experienced RTS players to join our design team. Naturally, I said I wasn't interested. I was gonna go to the Nationals, win that, go to the Worlds, win that, easy. Well, it was a good thing I kept that guy's card, because 16 years later, here I am, working on a game that remains so important to me and so many players around the world. Throughout my career, I've stuck to a few guiding principles. When something is broken, you fix it. When something is wrong, you make it right. And if things aren't good enough, you make them better. So without further ado, I'm here to announce patch 2.0 for Warcraft 3 Reforged. Available now, this patch overhauls the environments and lighting and revamps the user interface. In addition, we are up-resing all classic Warcraft 3 assets to HD. You can now customize the type of assets you want to play with and even mix and match if you like. We have also included a bunch of quality of life changes, such as in-game hotkey customization, a revamped ladder, and much, much more. We hope you enjoy this update, which will be available to everyone who owns Reforge. Now, I'm not just here to talk about Warcraft 3. We're also here celebrating 30 years of Warcraft. So not only will Reforge be receiving an update today, but we are also releasing fully remastered versions of Warcraft 2 and 1. So you can experience the story from the very beginning.
We're going to. We are
These remasters
absolutely
have
going
brand
to.
new hand-drawn visuals that capture the original art style
Wow.
from each game. And you'll be able to swap between the original graphics and the remastered versions in real time.
They're beautiful.
For Warcraft 1, we added modern controls such as right-click move, bandbox select, and a faster game speed. Both games have also received various UI and UX improvements such as tooltips and health bars, mission select screen, and an increased unit selection. Warcraft 2 will still have multiplayer functionality, and all legacy custom maps will still be fully compatible and playable. We are also bringing back the Warcraft Battle Chest, which will include Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. So here's to 30 years of Warcraft, and I can't think of a better way than celebrating than reliving the story from the very beginning. Oh, did I mention this is all available right now?
The tides of darkness have come again. What are you doing, my son? Succeeding you, father. In truth, it was I who was betrayed. You must lead your people to their destiny.
Oh, wow.
Aye, Captain. Work completed. By your command.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
Now, we are one. Job's done.
Oh my god.
It's pretty amazing to think that Hearthstone turns 10 this year. It's been such an incredible decade. Together, we've made the tavern a place for sharing joy, excitement, and some very tall tales indeed. We've made friends with Murlocs, battled old gods, and now we're traveling through space. But for me, the most incredible thing of all is that I get to work on my favorite game with such an amazing team. Ever since Hearthstone came out, we've been with you on that road to legend. I remember on my first climb to legend, I had played something like 500 games in 1 month. And as the clock ticked to midnight, I was 2 wins away and didn't make it. But I played another 500 games the following month and made it. Shout out to Darkshire Councilman. But those 1,000 games pale in comparison to the more than 160 billion games that we've all played over the last decade.
Wow.
And that's not counting Battlegrounds. Can you believe that it's been 5 years since the mode launched at BlizzCon? That's 5 years of building Death Rattle Beast comps, magnetizing mechs, completing quests, and collecting trinkets. It's been awesome to watch Battlegrounds grow from what was pitched as the biggest tavern brawl ever into what it is today. We are so thankful to our community for being with us over this incredible decade, and we're looking forward to the next 10 years in the tavern together. The future is packed with even more places to explore and adventures to share. More expansions, more mini sets, and more surprises. Now, let's take a look at what's just around the corner.
One of the amazing things of working at Blizzard is getting to watch other teams pushing the boundaries on their own games. I think we're all genuinely fans of what our coworkers are up to, and it's really special when we find moments to collaborate. What's up, everybody? I hope you're enjoying your adventures among the stars in the Great Dark Beyond. We loved working on this expansion and wanted to take our next mini set further into the cosmos than ever before. Prepare to travel beyond Azeroth, beyond Warcraft, and into Heroes of StarCraft.
Oh, no way.
I'm super excited for this mini set.
Oh, that's
It's
so
the first time we've ever
cool.
explored another universe this deeply in Hearthstone. A ton of people on the team, so much love for StarCraft. So being able to bring it into the Hearthstone Tavern has been incredible. Some might say, it's about time.
I love that the Hearthstone team
Obviously,
just gets to
we knew
be
we had to go
silly.
big.
Like, it's just great.
The Zerg, Terran, and Protoss factions are represented on cards via a faction banner. Not only do the cards in each faction work well with one another, they're
Oh,
also
man.
usable across multiple classes. Each of the factions also has a hero card featuring one of the most iconic faces from StarCraft. The Zerg are led by the Queen of Blades herself, Sarah Kerrigan. She gives Death Knights, Hunters, Warlocks, and Demon Hunters access to an aggro playstyle with near endless swarms of Zerg cards. After all, what would a StarCraft mini
Trying to
set
catch up
even
on chat.
be without its
The-
own
these
version
kind of
the Zerg
formats,
Rush?
I feel
For Protoss,
weird
we have
talking and stuff because you
legendary
talk
Artanis,
over everything that's
seemingly
happening and it's
unifies his
just
people.
a nightmare. But
He
it's
grants
fine.
his powers to druids,
Excuse
mages,
me.
priests, and rogues.
I knew
He
about
focuses
Warcraft,
on powerful,
like the RTS
high
stuff.
mana cost
That was
units
'cause of
and uses the psionic
Arrowhead,
powers
not because of anything
Protoss
else.
to make those cards cheaper. And finally, who else could we have to lead the Terran besides the
it's my
iconic
life as a
Jim
kid.
Raynor? Thanks to him, warriors, paladins, and shamans will get a hold of the new starship keyword from the main set. But these aren't your average starships.
It's gorgeous, isn't it,
They're
Lich?
battle cruisers. When we first started working on this mini set, we went to the
The
team
update is
and
ready on
asked,
launcher.
what does this need to have
Yep.
in order to truly
We're
feel
gonna
like
play those. We're gonna
we
schedule
made
some
sure to
playtime.
represent as many units from StarCraft as possible. There's even one character from Warcraft
This is
that
improved.
snuck their way into the set.
Fair enough.
Grunty, the Terran armored Murloc.
Original Hot Betty,
On top
hell
of
yes,
everything
Kenzie.
else, Heroes of StarCraft.
Me too,
has more
Scarlet.
cards than any mini set we've done before. There's so much to explore here. So many strategies,
To
so many
play them.
interactions,
I have played them.
So much.
I've played
StarCraft
Warcraft 1
nostalgia.
as
And
a
we might have
browser
some special
port.
music as well, just for the occasion. Heroes of StarCraft is coming in January 2025.
That art is
But there's
gorgeous.
even more coming up for Hearthstone. We're making some big changes to Arena.
As Leo mentioned, Arena is getting a major glow up. But first, let's talk about what makes Arena special. Arena is Hearthstone's premium draft mode, where you build your own deck from scratch at the start of every run. It's all about you flexing your deck building skills and card knowledge to defeat your opponents. And believe it or not, Arena has stayed mostly the same for 10 years. So we thought it was finally time for a little bit of an update. From now on, there will be 2 kinds of Arena to choose from. Normal Arena has a shorter format that lets you complete your runs more quickly, but still gives you that awesome competitive arena experience. And after you've established yourself in the normal arena, you'll be able to descend into the dark, dank cellar of the tavern, where challengers are engaging in high-stakes card play in our underground arena. Underground has a distinctive basement aesthetic, longer runs, and a new feature we call Redraft on Loss. This means that when you lose, you'll have the option to redraft cards and edit your deck, refining it to up your chances of winning as you take on more hardened challengers. We heard you
Interesting.
also want a way to show off that you're an arena champion. We got you. Arena ratings will be available for both the normal and underground modes. Ranking for the 2 are separate, with the usual skill-based matchmaking in normal arena. But in underground arena, you'll be throwing caution to the wind and facing off against opponents of all skill levels. Whether you're an arena veteran or maybe you just haven't clicked that arena button in a while, we hope these changes offer you another exciting way you can enjoy your time in the tavern with us. And I'm happy to tell you all of this will be coming in the first half of next year. Now, here's Tyler to share even more of what's in store for Hearthstone.
everyone. As you can see, we've got a lot of really exciting things planned for the next few updates. But what kind of game director would I be if I didn't spill even more beans about what's coming next? It's going to be the year of the Raptor.
That is
and you'll be
huge.
going on some awesome adventures in some of your favorite Azeroth locations. Next year, we kick things off with one of our most requested settings as we journey into the Emerald Dream. Here, you'll find yourself in the middle of a legendary face-off between the Druids of the Emerald Dream and the forces of the Old Gods. They'll be fighting a high-stakes battle over the fate of the World Tree in our first expansion of the year. And things are going to heat up even more when the Druids of the Flame light up the mini-set. Our second expansion is also Hearthstone's first ever sequel, as we go back to Ungoro Crater. Join Elise on the hunt for a mythical lost Tortolan city. Spoiler alert, keep an eye on that volcano. After uncovering the secrets of the lost city, take part in a grand celebration in the 33.4 mini-set. The party-loving Tortolans are hosting a festival in honor of the mighty dinosaurs of the crater, and we'd hate for you to miss out on all that fun. Closing out the year is our third expansion, where you'll travel with Chromie through alternate realities to recruit legendary Warcraft heroes like you've never seen them before. This all leads to an epic showdown against Murozond at the end of time, and you won't believe what happens next. You've seen just how much we've got in store for you over the next year. Heroes of StarCraft,
and time is
revamped
capitalized.
arena, and 3 awesome expansions. We're incredibly
Oh, but so
excited.
okay,
and
Shrouded
we hope
City is also
you're incredibly
asterisk.
excited. Thank you so
Working
much for being
titles,
part of
that's
this
why.
incredible
Okay.
journey.
Saw it.
10 years in, and our adventures in the tavern together are only just beginning.
Oh, Rumble, you're so adorable.
Blizzard has this awesome tradition of sharing the journey that each team took to bring their games to life. I think this museum is a beautiful way to relive the memories of development and share that passion with the rest of Blizzard. What's up, everyone? It's been about a year since I stood on the main stage of BlizzCon and we launched Warcraft Rumble together with all of you. And what a year it's been. All of us on the team have had so much fun watching you dig into our game and explore the hero collection, the army building, the nail-biting finishes. You've beaten over 900 million bosses.
Wow.
And on the matter of Alliance versus Horde, you picked Team Jaina almost 10% more. But maybe, most importantly, you've summoned over 1 billion angry chickens. That's 2 billion chicken wings.
Cut.
In just a second, we're...
Jeremy, we're trying to shoot Rumble here.
Oh, Rumble? Oh, I know a little bit about that. Scoot the camera. Cool. Awesome. When we started working on Warcraft Rumble, we wanted to make something that harkened back to our strategy roots. Like the first time I booted up Warcraft 2 on my dad's Power Mac 7100 66 AV. I'm stoked to play those new remasters. But we also wanted to do something in our universe that we'd never done before. So we started imagining that maybe, somewhere in the Hearthstone Tavern, there was a mysterious arcade machine that printed miniature versions of the heroes and villains of Azeroth and zapped them to life for you to collect and command.
I need tissue.
In those kind of early days when we were establishing the art style of Warcraft Rumble, we wanted a sense of tactility. We wanted to be able to pick up and touch the art that we were creating inside of the computer.
Hang
So
on.
some of us went and printed minis and painted them up like this. And that's kind of really where all this came from. All of these minis were painted by our team. And well, if I'm a little bit biased, but this little guy's my favorite.
What does that say underneath?
Oh, under here? Oh, it says Jeremy. But we've done more than paint minis since our game launched. We've added new dungeons and at least 1 new mini every single season. We've got the Dark Moon Fair, new zones, and a whole new family feud experience in the game. We added our first raid, Molten Core, and laid siege to Stormwind. In our latest season, we even bust down the doors of Ironforge.
Exit.
And we ain't stopping there, are we, Vic?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up. Starting right now, if you hop into Rumble, we're running our first anniversary event with some truly excellent loot.
We're celebrating 1 year of Warcraft Rumble, so if you jump in after the stream, you'll be able to snag some super cool rewards, like the very valuable looking gold kobold, which we affectionately call the Kogald. Okay, have you scanned this thing yet? Great.
We've also been working on something really exciting for later in the season. There are some characters in Warcraft that don't fit so cleanly into just one of our families. So we're adding split leaders. These leaders belong to 2 families at the same time, which really expands the possibilities of how you build out your armies. And we're not just
They still
adding
could,
one split
Lilia.
leader,
So did
we're
I.
starting with 3. Up first, fighting for the Alliance and Cenarian families, is Malfurion Stormrage. And representing the Horde and Blackrock families, we got Chieftain and former War Chief Orgrim Doomhammer. And finally, leading Undead and Beasts is Anu Barak. But before any of these 3 new leaders join the fight, we're going to be reworking one that we released this time last year. Sylvanas Windrunner is finally taking her rightful place among both the Horde and Undead. We've got an awesome season ahead of us and can't wait for you to check it out. We'll be right there with you. To our amazing fans, thank you for an incredible first year of Warcraft Rumble and for your unwavering support. Your passion fuels our creativity and truly drives us forward. But there was one more thing we wanted to talk about. Jeremy? Right? There was one more thing we wanted to talk about, right?
Nope. That's all I had. See you later.
This is great. This is so much fun. Oh, it's coming to desktop. It's coming to desktop. Yes! Oh my god! He's gonna miss his cue. Yes! Ah, fantastic. Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh. I'm interested to see how it all lays out on a PC screen. The UI. It's gonna,
We're so excited that you're here to celebrate 20 years of World of
We're
Warcraft
getting Mock
with
Classic.
us. When the game first came out in 2004,
Amazing.
I remember Facebook had just launched. I'd been in the game industry for a handful of years when I picked up WoW, and I was in awe.
Oh, so
Even
I.
when I was running about and exploring on my Night Elf Hunter, I made friends who would group with me and tackled just about anything, including helping me save 40 gold for my first mount. I loved it. I still do, just like many of you. And as most of you know, the game saw absolutely explosive growth in the early years and brought multiplayer gaming to the mainstream. That in turn created countless friendships, camaraderie, and escape for people every day. It still does 20 years later. We dug into our history and discovered that across 2 decades, together, we've accumulated 1 billion days of
Holy
time
cow.
played in Azeroth.
Far out.
So many of you have joined us over the years. Some of you have met partners in the world and gotten married. Some of you have even named your kids and pets after characters and locations in the game. Veterans from all over the world. Those who are hearing or visually impaired or have physical challenges. We've welcomed seniors, even whole families playing together with their kids, and so many more who call our world home. No matter who you are, when you come to Azeroth, you can live how you want and be who you want to be. It's a gift for so many, and certainly to us. We feel it every day. One of those special stories is live now on Netflix in a documentary called The Remarkable Life of Evelyn. Maud Steen, who played a character named Evelyn, lived a life in Azeroth that he couldn't in the real world. He suffered from Duchenne muscular dystrophy for most of his life and fought it courageously alongside his incredible family, who I'm proud to have met and fallen in love with. Because of Mott's and his role-play guild called Starlight, his family discovered the power of online game communities and advocate for gaming around the world as a source of joy and companionship. Sadly, Mott's was taken from this world and Azeroth far too soon. Because of Mott's and stories like his, we were inspired to create a charity pet program for classic and our modern game to support Cure Duchenne, a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving and extending the lives of those affected by Duchenne muscular dystrophy. We want to thank you in advance for giving to this cause that offers support to people just like Mott's. This little cutie is Revan, and he's available until January 6th. He was inspired by the detective agency Mott's created for his busy roleplay life in Azeroth. Right now, we have our 20th anniversary celebration running in-game. We've got modernized Tier 2 armor sets, classic time walking, new world bosses, trading post items, rewards, and more with all that nostalgic flavor. In the War Within expansion that we released a few months ago, we've taken the leap into the first chapter of the World Soul Saga. More coming on that. And of course, Classic is always cooking. But this moment is about you. You're the thundering heart of World of Warcraft and always have been. Stay tuned as we share what we are serving up for you. And thanks for making Azeroth a place you call home.
Hey everyone! Clay and I are so excited to be here today during this anniversary celebration to talk about what's coming up for WoW Classic.
I can't believe that after 20 years, my Orc Warrior is still finding new adventures in Azeroth. Shout out to all my buds on Tichondrius.
Feels like just yesterday I was on my Night Elf Druid, ganking some buddies on the Teneris realm at the Crossroads. Sorry about that.
Being on the Classic team and getting to help contribute to this incomparable legacy, which has breathed new life into the original Classic experiences, I'm not sure anything compares to it. I love how vocal and passionate our player base is, not only about what parts of WoW's history they want to see come back, but also their passion for things we try and have experimented with.
Speaking of us taking some pretty big swings, in Season of Discovery, we've loved watching you use your new class abilities, take on our all-new level-up raids, find secrets, and team up to defeat Ragnaros and Nefarian. We're looking forward to the AQ war effort unlocking very, very soon here, which will lead right into the launch of the Encourage raid. This will bring new changes and surprises that we can't wait to bring to you. Fun new mechanics, difficulty changes, new rewards. You know us well enough by now to know exactly how we'll mix it up as you wager your sanity for ancient Kiraji riches.
Beyond that, for Season of Discovery, we have one more phase to come. We previously announced we will progress through all the phases of the original Classic era. So get ready not only for Naxxramas, but new instance content featuring the Scarlet Crusade, as well as adventures in Deadwind Pass. Now to Cataclysm Classic, where we recently launched the legendary Fireland.
And Rag fell in like
difficult
an
challenges,
hour and a half.
besting Ragnaros and his feet.
So what
And
I
are
know,
hopefully
Juno.
2 steps closer to
Amazing.
getting your very own Dragon Wrath staff. We're looking forward to bringing you the final phase of Cataclysm Classic when our Hour of Twilight patch and Dragon Soul raid launch early next year. I know you Classic players out there must be curious where we're going next. But let's be honest, you know where we're going next.
The intro cinematic for Mists was one of my favorites. It's just so cheeky. I loved it so much. Why do we fight? Because we can. Yeah, see, maybe I might play Classic, but also
The
maybe
Classic
not.
team is proud to announce that Mists of Pandaria Classic is coming, and we can't wait to bring it to you next summer. With its legendary class design and incredible raids and dungeons, set amongst a gorgeous environment and backed by an unforgettable soundtrack, we'll be traveling back to experience all that Pandaria has to offer together.
Mists of Pandaria Classic is super exciting for all of us, as
You
well
have
as
to
Season
say
of
welcome back.
Discovery, and we love that we'll continue to be on that journey with you. But we know
Yeah, right, Wobble.
we
It's my
spent some
favorite.
time on the internet, and we've heard some of you out there, you want something fresh.
Which is why we are so pleased to announce that we are bringing you the Classic experience. All new Fresh Realms with the WoW Classic 20th Anniversary Edition. And it's happening soon.
How soon, Clay?
Actually soon. These realms will be going live next week on November 21st, but you won't have to rush to level 60. Classic is all about the journey after all. As we've made a change, and our first raid, Molten Core, won't unlock for a few weeks after launch.
We'll be launching realms of all flavors, PvP, normal PvE, and, for the very first time, Hardcore, which will progress through the phases in lockstep with the other two. This means a fresh start for everyone at the same time, together, on a level playing field with fresh economies on very large realms.
If you missed out on jumping into WoW Classic's initial launch in
How?
2019, this is the perfect time to join our community. These servers will also launch with some of the quality of life features that came later on, like the Chronogoon Displacer to save your world buffs, and the improved PvP honor ranking system. And yes, we're also pleased to announce that these realms will progress to the Burning Crusade Classic.
Shit.
Launching these servers close to the exact date World of Warcraft came out 20 years ago, alongside all the work we're doing for Season of Discovery, Cataclysm Classic, and Mists of Pandaria Classic means so much to us. We love this game, and we love the community that has made Classic Realms their home alongside their friends.
From all of us on the Classic team, thank you. This amazing journey is
How
one
are
that's
they
been
managing
co-written
to
by you,
fracture
our
the player
incredible
base like
community.
this? Like, there must just be so few realms, right?
Hi everyone, we're in the middle of such an incredible moment for World of Warcraft.
I don't play Classic,
The
so I just
World
don't
War Saga
know
kicked
like what
off
the
in
vibe is of
August,
the
the
community.
launch of
But
the War Within. And
like,
we have been so excited to dive into the expansion alongside all of you. Whether you enjoy raiding, dungeons, delves, PvP, collecting appearances,
Okay.
pets and
Yeah.
mounts,
It just- it
role-playing,
blows
or
my mind, you
exploring
know?
the open world, we hope you
'Cause there
found
are only-
part
there's a
of
finite
Azeroth
number of
that brings you
players.
joy. It's humbling to be standing here on the eve of WoW's 20th anniversary. Looking back, 20 years ago, I was fresh out of school and I had just seen enough of the beta to know that I needed to play this game, and then immediately stopped to avoid spoiling the experience for myself. I'd booked a couple days off work for launch and was looking forward to really diving into Azeroth. But little did I know that my server would be offline for the first few days due to overwhelming demand. Shout out to Mal'Ganis. But even less could I imagine how this game would in so many ways define the rest of the course of my adult life. So, let's talk about what's coming up for World of Warcraft, starting with what's on the horizon. We have 1107 Siren Isle, which is currently up on our public test realms. This update will go live next month, and it has something for everyone. On the narrative front, this update includes epilogue questlines for Dalaran and the Kirin Tor. No spoilers, but this storyline features the mysterious Haranir, who also played a starring role in our expansion release cinematic. We'll also get into the prologue for where we're going next, but more on that in a minute. 1107 also, of course, brings its namesake, the Siren Isle, a new outdoor environment to explore, full of mysteries to uncover, and rewards to help catch up your alts and prepare for the next War Within season
Wait,
ahead.
was that a visible ring?
Plunderstorm is returning, this time with a Plunder
Fuck
Storm
me.
to give you more flexibility in earning your rewards instead of that linear renown track. Also making a return will be the latest iteration of our Turbulent Timeways event and a Winter Veil revamp. We can't wait for you all to experience this update next month. As an additional treat,
I hope it's a
for those of
singular
you
buff for that
invested in
one
the story
ring.
of War Within, we will be releasing
don't
a
need more
novella
transmog.
that explains exactly what happened to Jaina and Thrall after they left us. This novella is narrated by none other than Chris Metzen and available today. So, I know many of you have already seen 1107, but you have to be wondering where the War Within is going to take us after that. Okay, so following Xal'atath's trail is going to lead us to a location that I've been personally excited about since we first settled on the idea of an underground expansion. Undermine, the capital of the Goblins' trade empire. Fittingly, our name for the 11.1 patch is Undermined with a D. Now, this is a city unlike any city we've seen before in World of Warcraft, standing as a testament to the intelligence and creativity of the goblins as masters of technology and alchemy. And as our adventures continue, we will learn more about goblin culture than ever before. What's important to them, what problems they're trying to solve, what they're capable of as a society. Everything that makes them truly unique, beyond the humor and the explosions. Though, just to be clear, there's going to be a whole lot of explosions. You'll arrive at an Undermine that's plunged into conflict between the 4 major goblin cartels: Steamweedle, Blackwater, Bilgewater, and of course, the Venture Company. You will align yourself with a group of your choice and run into notorious goblins like Monty Gazlo, Renzik the Shiv, Baron Revelgaz, Marin Noggenfogger, and more. Now, if you're going to be in cahoots with a goblin cartel, you can't be seen rolling around in anything less than a truly blinged-out ride. So early on, you'll earn a vehicle designed just for Undermine to push the boundaries of locomotion within World of Warcraft. Undermine was built for speed, with roads designed for driving, which is just as well, because this car travels much, much faster than your regular ground mounts.
Ooh.
You can also further adjust your car's driving characteristics. Do you prefer grip, or do you want to drift more?
Oh my
Do you want
God.
more acceleration, even if it's going to come at the expense of your top speed? That's up to you.
Oh my
You can
God.
try it all and rule the streets of Undermine, living your life 440
Time
yards
is
at a
money,
time.
friend.
Oh, ads. So appropriate.
We'll also be adding a new dungeon in Undermined, Operation Floodgate, which is a race to stop a group of goblins from blowing a dam that would bring ruin to the Ringing Deeps. This dungeon will also be immediately available as part of our new Season 2 dungeon pool on Heroic, Mythic, and Mythic Plus difficulties, alongside the 4 other launch dungeons and 3 returning legacy dungeons. Now, we'll have many more details in the weeks ahead, but I can tell you that one of those legacy dungeons, naturally, in light of our goblin theme here, is the Motherlode from Battle for Azeroth. Continuing to build upon one of our favorite parts of the War Within, this new zone brings with it 2 new delves for you to explore, and we're creating new variations on the existing delves. We're also introducing seasonal updates to Bran Bronzebeard, a new adversary to follow Zekvir, and a new set of goblin-inspired curios for Bran. Of course, a new season also means a new raid zone. We have an 8-boss raid called the Liberation of Undermine coming your way, which takes you through the streets of the city and into the magnificent Galagio, brimming with color and extravagance, but also hides the dark secrets of its owner, the one and only Gallywix. And for the arena PvPers out there, we're also introducing a new arena map set right amidst the city. Now, some of you may be wondering how Xal'atath fits into all of this,
yes,
and how
correct.
goblin politics relate to the fate of our world soul. But rest assured, Undermine plays a vital role as a continuation, a next chapter in the many stories that are unfolding in the War Within. We will have a lot more to share on that front in the months ahead. And that is just the beginning of what we have planned for the next year.
Oh,
now,
oh,
as you can
oh.
see, 2025 is going to be
What
an
is that?
incredible year for both modern and classic WoW players.
The fuck is that? Damn it!
As the World Soul Saga continues to unfold, we are reflecting on these past 20
Come
years
on, Matt,
with
give me the
immense
screenshot.
gratitude as we lay the foundations upon which to build the next 20. On behalf of the entire World of Warcraft team, thank you so much for being the heart of the history of Azeroth. Whether you've just joined our community, been with us for the last 2 decades, or somewhere in between, thank you for making Azeroth your home. And speaking of home, the team does have one more thing to share with you.
Don't you dare. No! It's gotta be a punked. Come on. What? No! Come on! What was that?
For joining us today and for being with us for the past 3 decades. The Warcraft universe is a living, breathing world that's been experienced by over 200
No, that's gotta be a joke.
That's millions of stories of adventure, laughter, and true connection.
No commit, like no commit to the.
Communities have grown and evolved. The statue behind us reminds us all how important Warcraft is and continues to be.
If that was
It
an
serves
announcement,
as a
it would have been an
reminder of our shared
announcement,
passion
surely.
For building Azeroth together. And it's you who truly bring
Gotta be a
Warcraft to
fake
life,
out.
our players, and the communities you are a part of. Thank you for being the lifeblood of this world that means so much to all of us. 30 years of history is
At the same time, though, if that was a joke,
we will build for the bright
they will
future
be
ahead,
slaughtered
and we can't wait to walk that
online.
road alongside you.
Absolutely slaughtered.
And before we go, we want to share something very special. This September, 190 performers took to the stage to celebrate 20 years of World of Warcraft with a series of concerts in Switzerland. Prepare to dive back into the history of World of Warcraft through its incredible soundtrack performed live. And whether this music invokes cherished memories or you're hearing some of these pieces for the first time, we hope you enjoy the performance. Here's to the next 30 years.
No. That's such a non-committal bullshit kind of. But if it's not, the blowback will be worse than the phones incident. You mark my words. If that was if that was fake, if that was a bait, they will not recover. Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Not just this one. Oh, dude. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a new companion as well, Junior. I was surprised when you said expansion for Bran. Too Fast, Too Furious, Undermine, Jesus. The roadmap, yep. The cheeky little rune on the end of it. I was like, no, really? Like, my fucking god. Honest, like, super blunt, fuck player housing. No. Fuck off. I do not want to have to collect that many fucking bullshit things that I will never goddamn use. Fuck player housing. They said it'd cost us a raid tier. Like, no. And they've just had how many fucking layoffs? Nah. Nah. Nah, fuck player housing. Oh yeah, it's another thing, it's just a house. It would have a hut. I mean, yeah. Enough persons are being cleared every flying expansion. It was a bit just arrived. Yeah. Yeah, teaser trailer for what most people will assume is player housing. Home Sweet Home Tankard. 2025 list for you to read. Thanks guys, I don't need it. It'll be on Wowhead. Blizzard will have, now that it's gone live, Blizzard will have official releases of the graphic of the roadmap, and it'll be better than any clip or whatever that we can grab. So thank you, but no thank you. It's good, I'll get it from the source. Massive cheers to the next level of IRL merch. Yeah, nah. Alright, Wowhead, what have you got to say about literally everything? Choice to be part of the game? Yeah. Yeah, this was done, the concert was in September, and it's like 2 hours long. Like, it was a proper, like, you can see down the bottom of the frame. Oh, excuse me, people attended this. This was a live performance thing. So, but it's, yeah, legit, like a whole couple hours. Housing is official. Jobs obtained. Fantastic, Lilia. What's happening? Yeah, confirmed the teaser on Twitter, specifically stating that player housing would be added in midnight. Yep. God, this is gonna be a nightmare. Yeah, okay, so, Wowhead says, in the final section of the Warcraft Direct presentation, Blizzard has crossed out all but outright, confirmed that player housing is coming in the World of Warcraft Midnight expansion. Blizzard has further confirmed the teaser on Twitter, specifically stating that player housing would be added in the expansion. Devoid of spoken words beyond Senior Game Director Ian Hazzakostas' introduction, and speaking of home, the team does have one more thing to share with you, ... The short clip is tantalizingly short on details, though the shot of our adventurer relaxing in front of a fire with the words "Home Sweet Home" prominently displayed on the mug makes the implication very clear. What's unclear though is exactly how much control we might have over the props or trophies on display. We're shown several pieces of decor along the wall of the home, including the Bulwark of Azeroth, Homebrewer's Sampling Mantle, and Keldalar Might of the Faithful, as well as pedestals featuring a Warcraft Rumble toy Night Elf Huntress, and miniature Goblin Shredder, a personal training dummy, and even the head of Onyxia mounted on a wall. We can assume that there will be some amount of customization, especially if this is meant to be an expansion-defining feature, though this is something that Blizzard has previously cited as a major hurdle. As recently as Preacher's trip to Blizzard in November 2022, developers acknowledged that while player housing was a very popular request, it would require a major engine update to make work the way it deserves to be done, set in context, rather than an awkward mix of pre-placed garrison plots and limited customization. Whatever the case, it seems that Blizzard may have finally solved that problem, and with their newfound commitment to evergreen content, player housing looks like something that will stick around well beyond Midnight itself. In addition to teasing the new expansion feature, this final shot also hints at how the Midnight expansion might begin, suggesting that the narrative literally starts at our player's home, relaxing after yet another long campaign in faraway lands. This also lines up with what we see in the 2025 roadmap, bookended with a peculiar rune that looks suspiciously like a stylized Hearthstone. Coming after patch 11.27, we can speculate that this means player housing will be a pre-patch or initial launch feature of Midnight, kicking off an expansion that also takes place closer to home as forces of the Void begin to invade Azeroth. Are they really actually... Well, it says expansion reveal. Are they then actually going to have the expansion launch at the end of next year? Because that's an even shorter time frame than 18 months, like they said they were going to do. And then, yeah, there's an official Blizzard image of the roadmap here, like I said there would be. Cool. Nightmare in Midnight is fitting.
Good evening, heroes of Azeroth, and welcome to World of Warcraft 20 Years of Music. My name is Charlotte Pyle, Senior Music Producer at Blizzard Entertainment. Tonight we are thrilled to present a live orchestral performance celebrating the immersive soundscapes of World of Warcraft, a game that has captivated millions around the world for more than 2 decades. The world of Azeroth has been brought to life by a stunning array of musical compositions, each one enhancing the epic stories, majestic landscapes, and intense adventures that define this iconic game. These compositions have become a beloved soundtrack to the adventures and battles faced by countless heroes. As you listen tonight, allow yourself to be transported through time and space as we explore some of the most memorable and powerful pieces from each expansion. Thank you all for joining us, and enjoy the performance.
Yes. Yep. Use busted mythic plus keys as instrument. What? I don't know what that means, Kara. Visions revisited, but why? Because midnight. Yeah. Okay, so Siren Isle 1107, new content Siren Isle, story and quests, upgradable rings, is it Circe's signet? Circlet, sorry? Turbulent timeways, we knew that was coming. Wintervale, new content, we know what that is, well, bits and pieces. Additional holiday updates. Must we though? Must we? I mean, I'd love to play Horrific Visions again. That was fun. It's under 11.15. Yeah. Yeah, it's not part of midnight. Okay, so Horrific Visions were Stormwind and Orgrimmar if N'Zoth was successful, right? I can see them reusing, rather than just going back and doing the same content again, I can see them using the same, like, base code to make Stormwind and Orgrimmar if Xal'atath succeeds. So not just the same visions, but the same style of content, but updated with like, I can see that. It makes sense. Because this is, like, we don't often have, like, I mean, we've had a lot of bad guys that want to, like, destroy the world or destroy certain things or whatever, but we don't have that many villains who actually want to reshape the world. You know? So I can see that happening. You could also use it for Silver Moon if it's meant to be midnight. It's not, Umbry. It's not. That's what Junie said a couple messages above you. No, it's under 11.15. This is part of War Within, not part of midnight. They gave a date for next patch as well, December 17. Oh, for 11.07? Yeah, okay. Cool. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, so like I can see that happening. Also, new content, Nightfall. As opposed to Hallowfall. Did I not say that we were going to come back to Hallowfall to lead into midnight? I'm pretty sure I said that, but I could be mistaken. I might have had him switched around, but yeah. So yeah, Siren Isle, additional update, and then we've got Plunderstorm, then we have Undermined for 11.1, new zone Undermine, new raid Liberation of Undermine, new dungeon Operation Floodgate, Drive, D-R-I-V-E is the new mount. It's called Drive, because of course it is. New Delves, Cartel Renown. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did he not say you pick one of 4? How the fuck did that go last time? Anyway. Already had Nightfall spoiled for me. Really? How? How, Jack? My god. Imminent Void, hello, full JK. Need for Speed in game. If Nightfall doesn't have a Blind Guardian or Middle Earth reference, I'll be so disappointed. I have ults, right? Look. I do. Most players don't. Oh, you went looking for it. Okay, good, good. How did you, like... Why the fuck are Blizzard even publishing anything from that far out? Like, they shouldn't be. Anyway. Warband's UI updates. Warband's camp collections. That is literally all that says. Warband's UI updates, colon, Warband's camp collections. Yes. Yes, yes, I agree. Oh, it's a keyboard, of course it is. They're in a Secret Labs chair! Oh, that's amazing. They're in an Alliance Secret Labs chair. Like, this and Revendreth Castle Nathria. Oh, and then there's the Horde ones. This and Revendreth Castle Nath are like the tracks that should be played by a fucking orchestra live in person. Hi, ZZ, welcome back. Welcome back and make it customizable. Yeah, I thought so, but camp collections, I don't know, it's just phrased kind of funny. They might have just had to like abbreviate it as much as they could. They could have called it character select customizations, but I mean, they call that the Warband camp. Anyway, yeah, interesting. Of course, season 2. 11.15, new content, Nightfall. Horrific Visions revisited, we've spoken about that briefly. That it might be, instead of like, you know, actually going back to the Horrific Visions for Stormwind and Orgrimmar with N'Zoth, it might be the same tech to see what it would look like if Xalatath succeeds, kind of thing. And a Children's Week update. That's been a long time coming. That's been a long time coming. 11.17, story and quests, new content and system updates. Turbulent Timeways again. Jesus. Jesus. 11.2, new world events, new dungeon, new raid, new open world challenges, Warbands updates, Brewfest updates, season rewards, refresh. Season rewards, refresh. Then they've got the expansion reveal, which will be around this time. No, actually earlier than that. End of summer. So what's that? July, August? For you guys? I hate that they do it with the seasons. I just wish that they'd put like, even if it just said like Q1, Q2, you know, like that would, not everyone lives in fucking Northern America, folks. We should have to do as little fucking conversions as possible. I'm gonna say is there's already a delve called the Nightfall Sanctum. Right, okay, gotcha. We had Nightfall. How long has it been since Children's Week has been touched? We can find out. Children's Week guide. So 2024, there were no changes. They had some trading post stuff, but there were no changes. Past updates. New to 2023, all orphans except for Rue and Kekuk now have their own mounts. New to 2022, School of Hard Knocks was removed from the requirements for the children, and therefore also from the requirements for what a long strange trip it's been. That means you no longer need to PvP to get the Matron Patron title and the Reigns of the Violet Protodrake. New to 2019, they added the Kultiran and Zandalari Orphans. And new to 2015, Hearthstone toys can now be used to complete Home Alone. There has literally never been any changes. Literally never been any changes to Children's Week beyond just adding a new generation of orphans. That's it. And a removal of something. A making of something easier. That's it. Literally. Never has there ever been other fucking changes. Jesus. Yeah, well overdue. Turbulent Timeways twice in 6 months. That's interesting. That's interesting. August, September. Thank you. Yeah, I thought so, but I wanted to double check with you guys because I'm not 100% on, you know, another country's seasons. Anyway, I have to do that for the fiscal quarters. Huh? What? Label it winter, spring, summer, autumn? No, they don't. They can just do it Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. That's the industry standard for announcing anything. Is doing the year in quarters. They just do it with seasons for Lord knows what reason. Not gonna lie, if that's 15-month expansions at the same price, a lot of people are gonna stop playing. Yeah. Well, no reason not to be. Sorry, what will, Kara? Yeah, so then expansion reveal at the end of summer. So that's not the launch. It doesn't say launch. It says reveal. It says reveal. But I would expect that when that's revealed, that's your alpha. Straight away. Because we already know it's coming. They don't need to build up, like, story and all that kind of... They've already got... We know vaguely what's coming. Price. No reason not to be at the same price. Quarters don't really line up with the seasons. Q1 is Janmar, winter is Deck Feb. I know. But it doesn't matter. They can just adjust where the bars on the words on the bar are. I just find it really frustrating that they insist on using time definitions that only work for this much of their player base. Like, what about the rest of us, you know? Right, okay. Alpha usually a month after announcement. Usually, yeah, but midnight is not a usual situation. We know midnight's coming. We've known the name of the expansion and the name of the expansion after it for like over a year now. Well, for about a year now. Like, this is not a usual case. This is not a usual case. Just put this on this morning. Oh no, these last two product promotions, Microsoft is biased towards US audiences. Looking at amounts and items behind US only products. No, we've discussed that at length. There are very good reasons for that. Very, very good reasons for that. This doesn't, like, roadmap doesn't make, like... So, we had a really long discussion about this yesterday, but for those of you who weren't here, so... Basically, if you, like, this is the 30th anniversary of an IP, the 20th anniversary of an MMO. That's a huge fucking deal. There are not many games that have actually lasted that long. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to like get this word out to as many people as they possibly can. And doing that, you can't just promote on places like Twitch. Twitch is a niche audience as well. This needs to be out in the mainstream. This needs to be fucking candy and drinks and shit like that, right? Get the kids on board, you know, the new generation of WoW gamers. But although Trolley is available in, I'm going to use Australia as an example because that's where I live. Although Trolley is available in the US and Australia, I guarantee you it's not the same company. What the Australian section of it will do is like whoever actually owns the trademark and the copyright for the copyright and the trademark for the recipes and all that kind of stuff, they will license that. They will pay a figure every year to be able to produce the candy and distribute it in this country, right? So when a company like Microsoft makes a business deal with the American company has zero right to force the companies in the companies in the other countries to also do that collaboration. They can't. Blizzard or Microsoft would have to, well, Microsoft in this case because it's an Xbox promotion, Microsoft would have to enter into an agreement with the American trolley and the Australian trolley and the EU trolley, and God, there's probably 12 fucking trolleys in the EU, because of the way that there are all the countries and shit. And that is just such an incredible mass gobbling of resources and legal time, because you've got a company that's based in America trying to enter a promotional thingamajig with a country that's based in Australia with two completely different sets of laws and requirements for business collaborations and blah blah blah. It's too hard. Way too hard. Way too expensive. God fucking no. Absolutely not. That's why they're all US only. It's not because they're biased. Fuck off with that noise. It's not a fucking bias. It's literally just the cost of doing business. That's it. That's all it is. Simple as that. If they really wanted to favor US people, they would have locked the codes to be unable to be used on EU realms. Simple as that. Although I'm unhappy with the fact that I can't just access the promotion here in Australia, I don't like having to rely on other people to help me get shit. I would much rather just do it myself if I can. I'm fiercely independent. I have been since I was a fucking child. But I can't, and so this is what we do. And I mean, look, old school WoW players complain that you don't need to, WoW's like a single player game these days. It doesn't feel like an MMO anymore. Well, these promotions are forcing you to make friends and collaborate. So, welcome back to your MMO. Like, you actually have to speak to other humans and associate with them to get your content. So, yeah, no, it's got nothing to do with favoritism. It's just the cost of doing business. Honestly, out of all of them, the only one that I'm actually unhappy about is the Steel Series one. Gummy worms, whatever. Bloody Mountain Dew. Fuck, it's gamer elixir and it's cheap as shit, right? Comparatively, I understand we're in a cost of living crisis, but it's a beverage, You're not buying a fucking keyboard or headset. The Murloc toy, that's been done before. They've had plushies in the gear store that had an in-game code associated with them. Like, it's ground that has been tread already. So fuck off with that shit. That's ground that has been tread already. And the one that actually pisses me off is the SteelSeries collaboration, because buying a new keyboard is not the same as buying 2 packets of gummy worms. That is a significant investment, especially considering how expensive solid gaming peripherals are these days. That's like $300 fucking for, oh my god. I don't I heard that and I'm like, oh no! Good. Okay, sorry, I've been hammering against Sergeant Tournament, trying to get all the mounts sorted, so I heard it and my whole body just kind of went, right, so collaborating with gaming products I think is amazing. Secret Labs chairs are a fantastic example of that. Put the Horde and Alliance logos on headsets, make fucking keycaps and all that kind of, that's amazing. Don't associate in-game content with it. I think that part of it was unnecessary, personally. I do semi-expect that once all of these promotions are over, once the exclusivity contracts are finished and you can no longer redeem the codes and stuff like that, there is a part of me that expects that Blizzard will either put them on the trading post, I hope not, or in the Battle.net store. They won't be able to until the promotional period with those companies ceases, because that's part of contracting. But once that ends, Blizzard should, and I mean, the promotional period ending doesn't mean that the period of exclusivity ends. It might be, you know, the promotion will end February 6th, and for 12 months, Blizzard will not make this offer available again, kind of thing. And so we might have to wait until February 6, 2026 to see them in the store or in the trading post or whatever. But in the end, it is Blizzard's stuff. It's their code, it's their product. They may well have the right to pop it on the store, you know? But we'll see, only time will tell. Alpha also usually lasts for a while. Yeah, but it didn't really this time round. It didn't for War Within, so I'm a bit... Yeah, it's interesting. Night Exalt! Please be plentiful, thank you. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go to bed at some point. I have a massive headache. You think we're gonna have faster release of expansion? Yes. Yes. They said that it would be. They said they were gonna, like, they're not gonna have 2-year expansions. They wanted to make it 18 months. Which is why I'm kind of surprised. I'm not surprised. I lied. What I was gonna say is I'm surprised to see a season 3. No. I would be surprised if I saw a season 4. But I don't think we will. I think what's gonna happen is that they're just gonna chop off season 4 of every expansion. And then that'll be, like, the new expansion instead of a season 4. But yeah, well, there's NA, EU, China, Korea, Taiwan in the North Hemisphere. The South, there's OCE and Brazil. If they cheat on the amount of content, it's just a regular expansion divided into... Cheat on the amount of content? What the fuck does that even mean, Cara? What do you mean cheat on the amount of content? Yeah, they're not cheating on the amount of content. Have you seen the roadmap? Just as out of curiosity, have you actually seen the roadmap they've put up for 2025? Because it's the same amount of content. I'd argue more, because we're actually getting chunks of story in the 2.5 and 2.7 patches, which, or the 5 and 7 patches, which we don't always get. I don't get why that keeps getting repeated. There's more content than usual. There is. Can confirm, as someone who tries to do literally everything, it's impossible. It's actually impossible to do everything now. Unless I was playing literally 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. I can't collect everything. Like, it's a problem. It's just what I'm thinking on at the moment. Right, okay, well, you don't need to think on that because it's factually incorrect. They're not cheating on content. I thought with the trolley the codes were locked with US. Nope, I've got one. I'm in OCE. That's what I was hearing at least. You've heard wrong. Most recent when you're able to use the codes outside the US, all of them you've been able to use the codes outside the US. Whoever's telling you that they're locked is lying to you and you shouldn't trust them. You should always get the information direct from the source. How do we even try and get the mount in OCE realm? I see people selling them in trade, but they wanting 350k. So you can buy them with gold. You can also make friends through communities like this with people who are in the US, and you can, like, what I did, for example, is I sent a person money on PayPal, and they used that money to buy the Mountain Dew and get the code, and then sent me the code. I basically reimbursed them for the purchase in exchange for getting the code. Ask someone to get you one. Correct. Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, I believe that, especially with the kind of items they have put on the trading post. Yeah, I want the Secret Labs shares. Unfortunately, I'm on the heavier side. Even after losing considerable weight, I'm above their recommended weight. There you go. They do have a faster, better dev team, and don't forget the new tools that are AI-based. They can release faster. That's not what they use AI for. They've specifically said what they use AI for is things like resizing armor to fit, like they'll design something and then they'll use AI to scale it to all the different races. That's not the kind of stuff that, like, sure, it makes small things faster, but that doesn't make content as a whole. Their writing teams don't use AI. Like, do you know what I mean? The real meat of making content is impossible to do with AI. I don't agree with the faster, better dev team. I think they've got new dev teams, like, you know, they've got fresh blood and stuff like that who are coming up with new ideas, but new ideas often take longer to develop than the rehashing of old ideas. Additionally, on top of that, layoffs. They've had 2 rounds of layoffs this year. Where the fuck is faster coming from? They're losing staff. These staff are gone. They're not replacing them. I don't understand how it could possibly be faster with fewer people. Are you just reading Reddit stuff? Yeah, I'd say they might be reading Reddit stuff. Yes, I saw the remat, didn't start playing until last month, just sharing my worries. Fair enough. I would suggest, instead of stating them as fact, like, yes, but they have this, they have that, they're going to cheat on content, I would, considering you only started playing last month, I would suggest maybe phrasing those concerns as questions. Are we going to be losing out on content with faster release schedules? Are they able to develop this stuff faster through the use of AI or with faster dev teams and stuff like that? Because we, like, this is going to come across as elitist, and I swear to God I'm not trying to come from that space, but there's a lot of us who have been playing for a significantly long time. Like, I've been playing for 18 years. I've seen the development cycles year after year after year. We have a sense of how Blizzard works and how this content comes out and how the teams work that you simply can't have having not played the game for very long. And I'm like, welcome to Azeroth. I'm so pleased that you're here. That's really exciting to see new players picking up the game and hopefully enjoying themselves. But there's a lot of nuance to World of Warcraft that has allowed it to survive for this long. And reading Reddit and spitting out what Redditors are saying about the state of the game, most of them are not right. There is this big thing in the WoW community, especially those who frequent forums like Reddit, where I feel this way about the game, therefore Blizzard must be developing in a way that I determine, or, you know, that kind of stuff. It's they're very focused on their own perception of the game, rather than viewing it as, like, Blizzard is actually a business, and this is how they're making this game, and there are technical restrictions on that. There are human restrictions. There are, you know, 25 years of code restrictions that apply, and that people just don't think about it beyond the surface. Oh, well, I want this thing and they haven't made it, therefore the game is shit. Or, you know, things are coming out faster, therefore it's going to have less polish and it's going to be crap. To an extent, some of that can be right. But then there's more to it than just a comment on Reddit, you know? Yeah. Hey Mads, welcome back. No shouty. Yeah, we've done some shouting already. Hey Nab, welcome back. You're up late? No, I'm up early, Manders. It's 6:20 in the morning. I've been up since 4:30. Yes, Warcraft Direct. Then me neither, especially that being sloppy. No biggie, I was just replying to someone, started War Within last month, didn't watch anything about it prior. There you go, I hope you're enjoying yourself. Wait. The bar's going fell green when it hits. So is Twitter, yeah. WoW Reddit and forums a complaint echo chamber. Yeah, so is Twitter, so is Wowhead comments on articles and stuff. Wowhead comments on, like, database items, fucking fantastic for the most part. But comments on, like, Wowhead articles and stuff, yeah, don't expand them. Sometimes I do when I want, like, if I want to get my heart racing before I go for a jog, I'll read Wowhead comments. Okay, it was badly phrased when playing things in 2005. Ah, brilliant, there you go. Right, okay, fair enough. But yeah, it's... Yeah, there's a lot more than just surface level stuff, and most people don't tend to think about it. To take every WoW player, we'll have so many different things we enjoy about the game. Not everyone enjoys it the same way. Agreed. So, like, it's probably not Midnight related. Felgreen. Well, it's the War Within roadmap, so it's got nothing to do with Classic. Also, the Classic roadmap? What the fuck is that clusterfuck? I don't know how they're managing to keep those servers going with that fractured player base like that. Like, my god. Obviously people are, they want it, and because otherwise they wouldn't be investing money into developing it, but Jesus. There's like, fuck me. Anyway, Legion Remix, obviously. No, they've, oh. I do agree with Wowhead that rune does look like a weird fucking Hearthstone. It's also the shape and then the little, it looks like a log cabin. It looks like an A-frame, or partially A-frame log cabin, which is what we saw in the teaser. But it's coming in the expansion, and the expansion it can't be releasing next year. Even if it's in December, that's only 15 months of expansion. That's too quick. That's too quick. I think 18 months is going to be the sweet spot for expansion length. Which means that we'll see... Family members, tell me, what month will Midnight be releasing if it's 18 months of War Within? Oh, fuck my life. Fuck my fucking life. Jesus. So I'm thinking unironically, no dipping your toes into the toxic internet cesspools, you will regret it. That's it, that's it. Mega servers with layers shouldn't be a problem. No, but it's still, like, you've only got so many classic players, and so you've got people who are playing, like, classic and kata and sod and hardcore and fresh, and do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's a lot of modes. I regret looking into toxic internet cesspools. It's kind of just, I don't know how to describe it. Toxic and a cesspool? Yeah. You don't have to, we know. Yes, exactly. Housing, yeah, we're not talking about that. Like you need a shower or decontamination unit. 3 months of alpha plus testing is not happening. No. I just don't see Midnight coming out next year. I could be wrong. You know, I've been wrong before. It will happen again, but that's... I've always said December releases are terrible. December releases mean that devs don't get a fucking break for Christmas. And I hate that for them. That makes me actually angry. I don't care about fucking release dates for us. Let the devs have a goddamn holiday break. So you must be shadowed. I am at 6:23 a.m. Legion Remix timing does sort of line up since we did get Mop Remix in the lead up to War Within to tide us over. Yeah, fucked up February, of course. I'm guessing it will be Warband Housing. Releasing the pre-patch for Midnight, which works similar to how PoE does it. We could see BC Remix, we could see Legion Remix. There could be a lot of reasons for Felgreen roadmap that are adjacent to expansion cool things. Yeah, I don't see Midnight releasing next year. No, neither do I. But that roadmap, people are not gonna put up with 6 months of testing for an expansion that we've known the name of since last year. Like, they're just not gonna take that, you know? Oh, excuse me, I could see them releasing it in Jan after the holidays. Yeah, but then that's still, like, that's only 17 months, you know? Like, I don't know, was TBC the only one released at the start of a year? Honestly, I'm thinking spring 2026 release? Nah. Not a chance, Nord. Not with an expansion reveal at the end of summer. An August, September reveal, that'll be alpha. That'll be alpha. Going through alpha and then beta and then launch is not going to take until spring. It just can't. It just can't. I wouldn't be surprised to see a November release for Midnight. I'm only saying that because that's an expansion a year for the next 3 thing from last BlizzCon. For a 2-year launch cycle. Just checked, yes, TBC was the only one, Jan 16, yeah. Expansion a year for the next 3. When did he say that, Ice? I don't remember that. I remember them saying, bringing the release schedule up. I do not remember hearing expansion a year for the next 3. That might have been people's interpretation of something that he said, but not verbatim. I expected to be a triptych for develop talking about the 3. Oh yeah, they have teams already, like when they were in alpha for War Within, they already had a Midnight team and a Last Titan team. We know that. We know that much, but that's still just a skeleton team fleshing things out. It still takes the entire World of Warcraft team shifting to a new expansion to make it release capable, you know? I remember him saying, yeah, faster than we're used to. That's right. Yeah, I don't think he said expansion a year. Wow, expansion a year. I mean, they had BC and Wrath 1 year after the other, but that was like BC was start of the year and I'm fairly sure Wrath was late. Right, so 9th November 2023, so this was like just after BlizzCon. I heard someone mention they are switching to yearly expansions. And then it was like, question. Who said they're switching to yearly expansions? I don't think Blizzard has stated a timeline for future expansions yet. Wouldn't yearly be better? They haven't announced a timeline. People are making assumptions. No one has said this. Well, they better make some announcement. If it's going to be 1 year, 1.5, or 2 years matters on if I will buy it or not. I'm sure they will. Sorry, I just heard the music shift. I was like, question mark. Blizzard stated the next 3 X-Packs will push us into 2030. There's no way they're doing yearly expansions. This thread is based off zero news around the subject. I heard someone mention they're switching to yearly expansions. Reply, people on the internet lie all the time, some for a living. Metzen alluded to a faster pace for future expansions. A couple of other devs whose names escape me talked about how their development runs in parallels now, so they aren't just working on the next expansion but on multiples. And another interview mentioned they plan the World Soul Saga to not still be unfolding by 2030. Nobody has given definitive. Expansions will now last X months. Yeah, no, so that's just not, it's just not a thing. Wrath was in November. Yeah, so it's like January to November is almost 2 years anyway, just shy of. Yearly expansion, I remember that as well. From where, Kara? Can we have some sources, guys? Because everything I'm reading is saying there is no source for this because it's not true. 1.5 is realistic. Yes, I agree. I agree, 18 months is realistic. Hey, Sukai, welcome back. Yes, we had Warcraft Direct. We only gravitated to 18 months because chopping off the season 4. Exactly. Yeah, it makes sense to do that. I think the only thing that was said was it would be done by 2030, so that to me suggests expansions may be 18 to 20 months apart. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Because we get the first one in 2024, then 2026, and then like early 2026, and then maybe late 2027, but even then, like, yeah. Yeah, Metzen said they are working to get the content out quicker than we're used to. That was it. Anyone who is telling you yearly is extrapolating from that and is not actually looking at the facts. Now it's just people fucking fighting in the comments. Wording was that it won't still be running by 2030. It means 2029 is as late as we can expect for the end of World Tour Saga. Exactly. That's literally all we've got. It's not like anyone telling you anything different is lying to you. Maybe not maliciously. Like I'm not saying that this is a malicious, like people are spreading lies and right. It's not about that. It's just people are taking something and going, oh, you know, finished by 2030. That means it's not going to be every 2 years. And then it's, you know, and then, oh, not every 2 years. That means blah. If that means that, then that means blah. And then it's, you know, every single time somebody picks it up and interprets it, it just morphs a little bit until someone's making fucking YouTube videos talking about how we're gonna have yearly expansions. Better get back to work. Of course, Bad Enjoy. It's just Messon saying faster and everyone's thinking 1 year. Yeah. Because, you know, the only two options are 2 and 1. You know, there's nothing in between that. It's not a sliding scale. Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, so late 2024, late 2026, late 2028. That's close enough anyway. And then 2 years after that would be late 2030. But like, that's not actually that far off, you know? It's not that much shorter. Anyway. Look, folks are fun sometimes. Even the gold standard of annual releases, COD has trouble hitting it without 3 separate companies backing it, yeah. Faster than the crazy long content droughts we've been accustomed to at ends of expansions. Yeah, it's essentially what we're looking at is chopping off Season 4, which I would argue is not a content drought anyway. Just because it's content that you don't like doesn't mean it's a drought. There is still content. But I mean, I've always argued that. That is incredible. It's 3 different choirs. By the way. 190 performers. The Mist's music has always been so fucking beautiful. It's mesmerizing just how much goes into these tracks that so many people just turn off. Like, what the fuck? Oh, man. Sitting here talking about development cycles as though it's just like, you know, the character select screen in the background, but nope, those are real humans. Dude. God, I would have just been sobbing if I was there. There's something about live music. And I'm, you know, not everyone would feel it, obviously, but just being in the room, instead of just having, like, the whole range of sound waves and then kind of sent into your eardrums kind of thing, being in the room with this variety of instruments and humans all making this sound, like, it just, you feel it. You can feel it, and it just... It's next level. Mist just feels so much more recent than it was, and I think it's because of Remix, just because of how, like, those 3 months we spent with all that music. Right, okay. So there's no TBC hardcore, I would love that. Well, they did say that the classic Fresh Realms, they're gonna have PvE, like, they're gonna have the different things and hardcore, and that they're all gonna progress together. So that, to me, that says that the hardcore Fresh Realms are going to progress. But, I mean, I could be wrong, of course. Hearing all the way our music is making me want to complain.
Time is money, friend.
Oh, that's ads in a couple minutes. Because Twitch, you know. There's always lots to do. Just have to look at how the players play the game. Only people with low in-game pushes that hit their goal and go, okay, I'm done. And that's totally fine. That is 100% reasonable. But complaining that that's a drought, I think is inappropriate. That's all. Like, I'm, like, 100% there are folks who come in, they smash out their keystone achievements or whatever in a week or two, and then they go and play other things until the new season, and that is 100% a valid way to play. 100% valid. Just don't tell me there's a drought. There's plenty of content, you just don't play it, and that's fine. But don't bitch about it, yeah. That's, yeah. I wish Blizzard did live concerts like Square Enix does with Final Fantasy. This was live, Lily. This was in Switzerland. See? People. It's just a recording from back in September. PC Hardcore, new classic servers. Yeah, that's what I thought. How amazing the Pandaren music is. They said hardcore won't progress. Oh, where did they say that? I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't, because the way that they presented it sounded like all of the server types for Fresh would be progressing. Syntax is just serious. It's just extrapolation from the faster than we're used to, which is why I always thought that 1.5 years is more realistic. Yeah, so do I. It's just people saying annual expansions, like yearly. Yeah, nah. That's misinformation and probably shouldn't be spread and should be combated when we find it. I was so confused then to see you streaming this time, I realized why. I totally forgot it was today. No! Hello, Spain. They mean Home Sweet Home. Just watch the WoW portion. Player housing, yo. Player housing. There won't be a murder hobo anymore, just murder. Life was such a vibe. Glad I got to experience it a bit during Remix. Yeah, we played it a lot. 11,775 collectibles. In a blue post? Oof, yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. I'm cautiously optimistic for housing. I feel the community will be angry about the implementation. Oh yeah, it will never be what... So, no matter what they do, there will be sections of the community who didn't get it the way they wanted it. Everyone has, because it's been such a long time, everyone has in their head a way that it should be. There'll be Final Fantasy players who want it identical to Final Fantasy. There'll be other games, the other players of other games who want it identical to their other games. And when it comes in with a distinct WoW flavor and changes, like things that are different, people will be unhappy. There is no way in hell with a game like WoW to make everybody happy. Yeah, I wish them the best of luck. I wish them the best of luck. I'm not happy about it. Especially if it means that we've lost out on some other major thing for Midnight. Nah. Whatever. I'm the minority and I know it, and that's okay. If y'all come at me bitching about player housing. Ooh, honey. New hardcore anniversary realms do not progress to Burning Crusade Classic. Hardcore has always been focused on the classic 1 to 60, made truly viable and approachable thanks to Classic's original mechanics and difficulty. Burning Crusade brings with it a level of challenge and randomness that we feel doesn't fit with hardcore. I think that's reasonable, and I think I'm glad that they've, like, nipped it now before anyone kind of, like, immediately off the bat. I understand that, and I think, you know what, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. December 17 release, this is what you mentioned a little while ago about Christmas releases be shy. No, it's not. Given with the 2025 roadmap, there are indications that we might get pre-patch or release of Midnight in December next year. Which, expansion, patches in December, yeah, whatever. But whole ass expansions, get fucked. Let your devs have a Christmas break, for God's sake. I got everything from the merchant NPC, then went on vacation, they released BOE set. I couldn't buy it. Oh no! When I say drought, I mean drought of new content, not necessarily drought of stuff to do. Yeah, but there's actually very rarely been droughts of new content as well. It's just new content that you're not interested in. That's what I'm saying. Like Hellfire Citadel's probably one of the only ones that is actually a drought of new content. I missed one thing from the mock remix. Bugger. Yeah, I got everything. Not just everything from the vendors, but everything from the raids, the dungeons, the quests, everything. The zone drops. Every last item. 11,775 of them. Yep, everything. Not a minority. No, I am a minority. 100%. I know, like, anyone who doesn't want... Okay, so... There are people who want player housing. Then there are people who don't give a shit. They are the majority. And then there are people who actively don't want player housing. And I'm one of those. I am 100% the minority. And anyone else who agrees with me is in the same boat. Generally, Christmas releases of minor patches are fine. X-Pack releases not so much. Yes, most of the work for minor patches are done before the release. Yeah. True, a lot of people are reasonable, but they're not very vocal. Oh, Icky, yeah. Haven't had a drought in a while. Yeah, it's been a long while now. Any player housing complaints will be directed to Fiamma instead of Blizzard from now on. And I'll read them aloud and then just look into the camera and smirk, and then move on to the next thing. Flipping, you got caught by auto mod. Ah, gotcha. There you go. Ad break is over. Yeah, I don't see anything from automod here, Manders, so you might have used an actual blocked term, which doesn't come through to automod. It just doesn't show up. So maybe try rewording. I didn't play then. Wasn't Argus a pretty large content drought? No. Not that I can remember, and I was playing then. I did show up, and yes, I did use a blocked word. Oh, it didn't show up for me. Maybe OBS doesn't show the ones for me. Thingamajig. after mod review and deleted by a mod. Right, okay, I don't see anything. But yeah, if you've used a blocked word, then you'll need to reword. So it was, yep, and cool, that's a slur, Manders. It's an ableist word. So people who are dumb are people who are unable to speak. Yeah? And so the association of using that word to describe something that is bad or stupid or silly implies that people who are unable to speak are unintelligent. Which they're not. They just are lacking one particular way to interact with the world. So yeah, now you know. Okay, that term for mute people. Well, it is, that's the word. Look it up. Slave. What has that got anything to do with anything, Kara? Alright. Song. Oh, okay. Whatever. There's... I'm looking for a patch list. Alright. Trying to find... Right, okay, so patch 7.3 was focusing on assaulting Argus. And that was released end of August 2017. Then at the end of October, so what's that, 2 months later, was a minor patch updating a few back-end systems to prepare for the release of the Antorus raid. A couple of minor changes. Added some stuff to class halls, added a couple of item changes. And then in January was when we got, January 2018 was when we had scaling. So every zone in Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdom now scales. Ulduar time walking. And if you completed Antorus, Silithus the Wound. So when, hang on. While this minor patch adds in additional tuning for Antorus, this raid won't be available with the release of patch 7.3.2 and will open at a later date. So when did Antorus actually release? Patch changes. Released November. So Argus was, there was 3 months with Argus before we got Antorus. Is that right? But that was a whole 3 zones worth of story and content, all that kind of stuff, and then the raid released in November. I wouldn't call that a drought. And then 7.3.5 was a fucking clusterfuck. That was, yeah, scaling, Ulduar, Silithus, new battleground. That was a major patch. And then the next patch after that was 8.01. Patch 7.3.5 was in January, which was 2 months after, or less than 2 months after Antorus. Interesting. Interesting. Puts up their hand as someone who selected user sim. I've been called that negatively multiple times. Yup. You know, Draenor orcs are never punished for all the horrible things they do in WoD. Until Lightforge, that is. So they were. War crimes committed by orcs or the Horde will be charged to Xemnas going forward. Neither did we. True. Should we be punished by execution? Rip Zamnus executed due to horde crimes. Sorry, you don't have jurisdiction. Oh shit. 28th. I meant Antorus. Antorus, there was only 2 months of Antorus before we got patch 735, which was a major patch. Like, again, a scaling world, so all of the old world scales to do, like, leveling and stuff. You have Ulduar time walking. The pre-quest stuff for Silithus, you know, with the sword after Antorus, and a whole new battleground as well. Legendary items that you can buy. Holiday dungeons, selfie camera. And then there's a bunch of fixes and stuff like that. That's a big update. That's a lot of content. Especially with fucking time walking and shit. 735 patch where you can unlock allied races in Legion. No, that was pre-patch. Wasn't it? 801. Or am I wrong? It doesn't mention that in the patch notes for... It doesn't even mention it in the, It doesn't even mention it in the undocumented changes. Interesting. You can unlock them immediately with pre-order. Oh, excuse me. Yes, well, I'm on the Wowpedia page for patch 735, and it doesn't say anything about allied races. Yeah. And neither documented nor undocumented changes. So we've got Shadowlands pre-order, we got allied race, no DK that we could get immediately. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't, like, to me that doesn't seem like a drought. So like patch 732 was during August, and then Antorus released a month later. So that was end of November. And then mid-January you had the world scaling, time walking, Silithus, new battleground, all that kind of stuff. And then it was until July for 801. So 6 months plus the 1.5, so 7.5 months for a raid tier. But that's really not that much longer than the 6-month average we have now. Especially considering, like, you know, with, like... Oh no, that's... And then, yeah, pre-patch. But that's, yeah. There you go. Yearly allied race page. Well, you know, I could just type in allied race. There's a whole page for allied race. First 4 allied races were recruited as a direct result of the events of Legion, originating from the Broken Isles in August. Another 4 are part of the story in Battle for Azeroth. Allied races are not a Battle for Azeroth exclusive feature, however. Unlocking each allied race was originally a significantly more involved process, requiring exalted reputation with the faction associated with that race, as well as the completion of associated quest achievement. For example, in order to unlock the Feast for Our Kin quest chain to unlock High Mountain Tauren, players first needed to earn exalted reputation with the High Mountain tribe and complete Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Draenor Orcs were first announced by Ian Hazzikostas on January 30th, 2018. On March 15, they were confirmed to be named Mag'har Orcs. Kultiran humans were first announced by Ian Hazzikostas on March 15, 2018. They're available after completing the Battle for Azeroth War campaign for Mag'har Orcs and Dark Iron Dwarves. Kultiran humans and Zandalari trolls were recruited later in the expansion after they respectively joined the Alliance and Horde. Patch history. Oh, 735. Added Void Elf, Lightforged Draenei, Nightborn, and High Mountain Tauren allied races. Pre-order of Battle for Azeroth required. So they were part of patch 735, you're right. But they're not actually part of that patch because they're part of a purchase. So then it's not part of the patch notes that they're now available because they're not available unless you make the purchase. That would have been why they're not listed in the patch notes. Interesting. There you go. Added Void Elf, Lightforged, Nightborn, and High Mountain. Pre-order of BFA required. And then 801 added Dark Iron Dwarf and Mag'har Orc. 815 added Kultiran and Zandalari. 830 added Mechanome and Volpera. And then 901, allied races no longer require Exalted. Allied race characters now start at 10, was 20. And then patch 1015, achievement requirements removed entirely. Allied races can now be unlocked with a level 40 character, was level 50. They're unlockable in the pre-patch. Yeah, they were. Yeah, for sure. You're streaming this, just who I wanted to listen to. Good, I'm glad. Welcome back, Funny. I hope you're doing well. Like the playbase has changed so much they threw a fit of the raid coming out 2 months after 730. Oh, they would. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Oh.
By the Sunwell.
Curvaceous, thank you for your Prime Gaming sub. Much appreciated. I hope you're doing well. 2 months, my goodness. Amazing. I just don't realize that kind of things. Yes. Yeah, they would absolutely play a fit. They would throw a fit 100%. I have a feeling we might pay more attention to the general player base than you individually do, Carl. By virtue of streaming, I get a lot of different parts of the player base coming past and like sharing their thoughts and praising and complaining and all that kind of stuff. And being a part of like the greater WoW creator community as well, like globally. I get to hear a lot of other players' opinions and their viewers' opinions and stuff like that as well, which is like, I pay a whole lot more attention to the player base than the average player. Yeah, not just my own community. Morning, Goddard, welcome back. Nice changes with latest. The Warcraft Direct wasn't about those kind of changes. It's not about nitty-gritty patch notes and stuff like that. It's more grand scheme. This is what you've got to expect for the next year of WoW. Yeah, I'm back at Toronto after I may skip to school. The tree cutters. Oh no, son! Welcome back. Hope everything's alright. Also don't play a lot with people. Neither do I. But I interact with them anyway. I talk to them. Even if I don't actually play with them. What I miss? Don't know. Depends on what you saw. There was an uproar about keys being delayed 1 week to align with Mythic Raid release. Yeah, there was. I didn't play then, but as I understand, presence of allied races in 735 was a surprise announced at BlizzCon when BFA was announced. It was like, you can play these new races now if you pre-order BFA. Yeah, that sounds about right. Nice change, more stuff to collect probably. Oh yeah, bucket loads more stuff. The cosplayers will be unhappy no matter what they're given. Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole time. It's a whole time. Streaming or being part of our community is good. Most of the we need. And it also gives me an opportunity to, like, squash misconceptions and, well, you know, try to combat misconceptions and share opposing viewpoints and things like that. I've had, oh god, so many people, like, so many I can't really count, people who come in saying, rah, 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 thing about WoW. And I go, well, from this, like, you know, I get where you're coming from, but if you see it this way, this is why that's a thing, and this is how other people might feel about it. And they kind of go, oh shit, I never even thought of that. And they're able to kind of broaden their worldview, which is wonderful. I think being able to see things from multiple people's perspectives is a skill, and one that more humans need. To put it bluntly, because too many people are, this is what I like, and this is what I want, and so this is what should happen, without taking into account, you know, other humans. Yeah. Because we're all here together, we gotta share the world. WoW players will be unhappy no matter what they're given. Correct! They played the WoD music beautifully. They've been playing all of this music beautifully. I feel kind of bad talking over it, but also, you know, it's nice. To be able to have conversation and stuff. Surprised that they removed the heroic access of non-seasonal dungeons and War Within. It could be old Mythic series in terms of difficulty. Yeah, I'm it's interesting. It's interesting. Reduction in sub price. I will not be happy about it. Dinosaur. God. It's a flashback to the early 2000s. When there's a cut in content because of that. Yup. Yup. cut and sub price means more layoffs, means less content, means heavier pushing of microtransactions, means just, yeah, it's not good for anybody. As bigger picture, people often fail to think of the bigger picture, unfortunately. Maybe then you can get a sub for free by paying with gold. Macrotransactions now, yeah. That's the expansion purchase, macrotransaction. Swans are so complicated. I love it. Look at them. They're beautiful. Normally I'm expecting a raise in sub price. Expansions being included after the trilogy. Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me. And then have, like they do for Classic, like you can, like a pack for Cataclysm Classic, but it wasn't required to play it, it was just like a collectibles pack. And with, like, you know, italics, like, this purchase is not required to play the expansion, so like the upgrade stuff. That's pretty macro to most people. True, fair. Fair. Well, I mean, $90 is like, what? It's an expansion, right? Do like CCP did with Eve and go, enough of you cancelled your accounts, we're now raising the sub fee to $20 per account. Makes more people cancel their accounts. Jesus. Right, so War Within on the cheapest cost was $49.99, right? US? Let's assume it's gonna go for 18 months, just for ease of calculation. $2.78. So they could bump it from $14.99 to $17.99 a month. And just cover it. Just the fact that there's an achievement requires you to do all within dungeons across all roles and with difficulty when half them aren't available is very strange. Well, yeah, but it's an achievement that's designed to be done over the entire expansion then. Like there are a lot of achievements that you just can't do now. You gotta wait, kind of thing. You can do all mythic. No, yeah, just the current season ones, and the legacy dungeons that they bring back for the mythic season. You can do those on Mythic as well. And you can't do them on their old difficulties, like the Legion ones that drop mounts. No, not Legion, fucking Shadowlands dungeon that drops a mount. You can't do it. You can't go farm that mount at the moment. You can farm it in like current content, but if you wanted to do old content, you can't go and farm it. Oh, excuse me. In season 2, exactly. Yeah, they rotate them. Any tips for choosing gear from the vault? I have one piece of tier that can give me 2/2 and the other worthy pieces are fine. C 593. I'll get the reagent to upgrade them. You can get the reagents to upgrade them from like world events and stuff, Kara. I'd recommend using raid bots. There's guides on how to sim. They have guides on how to simulate Great Vault and stuff like that. We'll do them in season 3. Yes, presumably we won't do them in season 2 anymore. It becomes basically full strength. No, you've got the whole expansion. Like any life-changing announcements so far? Not really. Well, yeah, player housing in Midnight. Oh god, Sim. It's the right way to do things, Kara. If you want an answer with like minimal effort, if you want to do the math yourself, go and have a look at Wowhead guides. They'll tell you kind of what stats to value and like what stats are worth more and blah 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 for your class and spec and stuff. But even the Wowhead guides tell you that doing a simulation is the best way to find what's the most appropriate upgrade for you in your current gear set at your level of play. So, yeah. But I hate it now. But why? It's super, super easy. You literally grab it, there's an add-on, you copy, you paste, and you hit go. Why? In this economy, I suppose we don't have to get housemates. Yeah, I mean, we might. You don't know yet. Might be your entire warband. You don't want to sim, pick whichever is the biggest eye level upgrade and know that that might not be the best pick. That's it, yeah. That's the simplest way to do it. You know, bigger eye level is bigger upgrade, usually. But if you're trying to min-max, then it's not the option. But yeah. I assume, considering you're asking for tips, that you are wanting to be a little more precise than higher eye level is good, you know? But yeah, simming is incredibly easy, and it's the way to do it. 593, definitely upgrade it, get the weather crest by flying through shiny clouds. Yeah, I thought that, like, that stuff is just gotten by open world stuff. You don't need mythic level raid crests to upgrade 593. I haven't done any raiding, or Mythic Plus, and my gear's at 609, 610, something like that. Yeah. Similar when I was raiding for smuggled characters, got to the point, but I was sick of it. Oh. Okay, well, it's the way to do it. If you don't want to do it, then that's fine, but those are options. Honestly, if you're asking about hero track from Vault at this point, you're still chasing tier upgrades, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, 609 only play like once every other week. Yep. Yeah. The weather crest is super easy to get. Which is good! Calf crest are really easy. You've just got to actually play current content stuff. I'd love to get a laptop and do some plenty of work. Might be frowned upon. Next stream, bring us some updates on what's coming out. Oh, they will, Chili. They will. The information will come when they're ready to release it. We've got plenty of stuff coming, though. Even just 1107 is going to be a bucket load of content. Myth, Hero, Champ, other stuff. Pick highest out of vault you don't have yet. If you're not doing keys, pick highest upgrade. There you go. Done. Super simple. Super simple. Personally, I really like Sims, considering that way back when I was playing and like at a reasonably high level, I was having to do the math myself. I had like notebooks of theory crafting shit. So being able to just copy and paste output from an add-on into a website and have it spit out what I should pick, fuck man. Quality of life improvement by a long shot. Big time. Can I just have this music put on repeat on a stream? It's gonna be the background music to my life. It's beautiful, isn't it, Siri? So all of the soundtracks from WoW are available on Spotify. Obviously it's not live, but considering that when they do the recordings for in-game, they do it with an orchestra anyway, it's like, it's essentially the same thing. They're playing to the same sheet music and everything. So yeah. Just doesn't have all the prettiness. Maybe people tend to overcomplicate the upgrade system in their heads, where in practice it's very straightforward. Agreed. I'd wager there'll be more updates somewhere around the end of summer for uppointing people. On WoW is a really easy gearing system compared to something like either Classic WoW or D4. Agreed. This is just an overview of what's coming for every Warcraft franchise. We'll get interviews and blue posts coming up. With more details and stuff becomes more relevant. Yeah, this is what this basically was like the opening ceremony and what's next in WoW from BlizzCon. That's it. That's all it was. Opening ceremony, big hitters, and the first panel, which is what's next for World of Warcraft. That's it. And Hearthstone and Rumble. Over the next week or so, I have no doubt that we'll see more interviews, more articles, all that kind of stuff. But this is day one BlizzCon. Don't stress too much. You haven't missed a ton. Like, we already know that there's an expansion coming out, which is, yeah. I don't know how people say this is complicated. I think I play Classic WoW, which has resistances hit rating like 5 breakpoints per class. Still love the fact they're easy to do, great quality of life, but yeah, just sick of it. Alright, then yeah, just pick a piece and go with your heart. Like, that's it. Something got way easier for me once Reforging stopped existing. Yeah, Reforging was a mess. I understand, like, people are like, oh my god, give me back Reforging, I just want to fix this little bit of my... But it's like, dude, these systems aren't just for top tier level players. These systems are also for newbies who have been playing World of Warcraft for 3 days. Like, they need to be easily digestible. That's why eye level exists. Chances are, if the number is higher, it's a better piece. For the most part. Especially for like beginner stuff, open world content, that kind of thing. If the number is higher, the piece is better. So they can just take that and go. And they don't have to worry about, oh, but if I take this one, I can change that to make it better than this one, and then I can do that, and but no, fuck all that shit. God damn. The Shadowlands music, fucking, oh my god, it's just beautiful. What is that noise? Is that just plucking at strings, or? Show me all the instruments. Let me choose my own viewpoint. like it sounds like sawing at strings a little bit, but not quite. And I've never been able to put my finger on what it actually is. I'm having to care about having 7.5% expertise anymore or whatever it was. Unfortunately, made sense when you had so many hard breakpoints. Yeah, involving hit expertise rating where you wanted to give good value. Anything over is complete dead weight. Yeah. I remember one time, I got a piece and my hit was exactly where it needed to be. Right on the goal line, not a point wasted. Not a point wasted. And then I got another upgrade like 3 days later. But for 3 days, it was perfection. So what's the plan for the rest of your day? I am gonna go back to bed after this. I really wanted to go into the city today, but I can't. I think I might see if I can find some time to go into town. Not into the city, but into the more local hub. It's only like a half-hour walk away instead of an hour and a half on the train. And get myself some tasty food and a bubble tea. And just sort of, yeah, but I need sleep. I haven't slept really. How about yourself, Sam? There's also I remember in vanilla every time someone would ask why there was no holy resist, someone would scream, "You cannot resist God." Wasn't ever a choice either. Like hit rating always had a best option. You could choose it via sim or rather find it. Yeah, you're gonna upgrade to a piece. You need to change something because you're above cap. At least now, when you're simming, you eventually reach a point where you have to make a trade-off between AoE single target sustain, defensiveness, or some combination of that. Makes sense that reforging is gone because the reasons for which it was added are also gone. Yes, agreed. Agreed. Good days for exactly those 3 days, exactly. Send that in Cat on my rest assured. Exactly 2005 haste with Fire Landscape. Well done. Well done. I feel you had to get up at 2:30 this morning for work. I feel like I'm gonna pass out as soon as I get home. Yeah, the day's over, so more WoW probably. Yeah, true. True. Yeah, I have a headache and I'm tired and I'm just, yeah. But the sun's up now, so this will be fun. There's also a mathematical correct choice. Anything else was suboptimal. I mean, that's still the same. That's still right. There's still a mathematical correct choice. That's what simming is for. It's why we still have Sims. You have to make choices what to optimize for, and would be wrong if you're not doing that thing. It's not really a perfect choice in specific raid fights. The sun is up. Someone ought to tell the sky in West Melbourne it's so grey today. Sun's still up though. There is light. I can see the light peeking out from the bottom of the blinds. I had a question for you guys. How's the camera focusing thing going now that I've covered all the faces in the background with a sheet? Have we noticed any kind of weird stuff? Is the guns out though? No, I am wearing a robe. And pajamas. My pajamas under my robe. That's on point for me. Okay. Yeah, I've had a thing where the camera's like constantly refocusing. I thought maybe it was because of the lights, maybe it was because of the faces in the background. It thought it was trying to focus on other people kind of thing. But if it has actually stayed focused on me the whole time, that's not ideal. It's perfect now unless you move closer and further from the cam, it doesn't change. Fuck. For the windows, fair. I had it like I changed the camera for yesterday as well. Like we put the sheet up yesterday to see if that was what was doing it. That's really unfortunate. Because I like my collection of plushies. All the stuff he's trying to see, they're staring at the wall. Oh dear. I wonder if I gave them all sunglasses, if that would make a difference. So their faces, put them behind bars. Dear. Just finish at Shadowlands. Oh, right, there's more. Okay, good. Sunglasses would fit. It's amazing how they've, like, riffed on the theme over all the years, you know? First one, you didn't clean out your logs folder for about a year and it's 80 gig. Jesus, Jack. Maybe time to clear that out. Maybe. Nice little shift delete. How long did it take? It looks, I presume, ease. I don't realize the Lang WoW theme has been reused, so they played it back there. Yeah, back to back. Yeah. I know it's been reused. I know that the load screen of every expansion is a rehash on the original theme. Like, I know that. It's just like the melody is there in every single one of them. Sometimes it's because it was shift delete. Fair. Sometimes mine still has to think about it. Kind of like it to refresh every time. I do too. I don't like change. I'm good with some change, but like sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't know. And there have been a few expansions where I'm like, no, I don't like it. And then obviously it's grown on me, and then the new expansion comes out and I'm like, I don't like it, and then it grows on me again. But the War Within one is weird. I'm not sure. I don't like it. Yeah. I love the Dragonflight one. Dragonflight is just beautiful. Excuse me, I think it really suited the expansion with the soaring crescendos and all that kind of stuff. War Within, I'm not entirely convinced on. Didn't drag it into the trash can. Is running lower levels through dungeons a thing in Kata as far as XP? Queues just don't pop at level 40 currently. I have no idea, Goddard. I don't play Kata, sorry. Let a series do that. Same musical motif, yeah, that's it. I don't like the WOD one. I don't think I ever said that. I just said there have been some expansions that I've, like, it started and I haven't liked it and then it's grown on me. Only for them to bloody change it again, because it's a new expansion. Dragonflight theme was and is stunning. Agreed. Everyone hates scattered dungeons. Oh dear. I'm assuming it's Cata Classic, considering, like, just the phrasing. is running lower levels through dungeons a thing in Kata rather than running through Kata dungeons, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that does mean Kata Classic, but I could be wrong. What within theme would be better if they snipped out the Xenotath bit that's all paranoia inducing? I didn't hear you correctly with the music. Gotcha. Get back to work, enjoy the deserved rest. Post-stream, thank you, Maddie. I need it. Fucking A. I'm trying to level a lock at the moment, it's just slow and boring playing by myself. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
By the Sunwell.
Maddie, thank you so much for the resub. 7 months. Holy cow. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. DPS queues are always slow and WoW no matter the version. Agreed. How long have you been in queue, did you mention? They're just saying, you just said don't pop. How long have you been in queue for? No one's signed up. Well, yeah, no, that's normal. Like, half an hour can be normal on retail. Yeah, playing Kata Classic, leveling a hunter 65 that made me want to run some together. Yay! That's how you find your dungeon groups. I was going to say maybe reaching out in general chat or going to a city and using trade to find people or something. Twice in one day. I know now.
The Sunwell.
Regretting my life choices. Lilia, thank you for the resub. 8 months. Holy cow. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Oh, 4 minutes for a hype train. Okay, points. Enough points to rename a battle pet. Yes, amazing. Gonna work level difference is too big, I believe. Aww. It's always worth checking, just in case. There's no scaling, yeah. Hey, Chloe. Yeah, I know.
By the Sunwell.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome to the Fianati. Oh my god, it's a hype train. I can tell.
Chugga 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 choo choo.
Holy cow. Thank you for the hype train, guys. Oh my god. Wait, though, I like seeing numbers go up. I lose my points if I'm unsubbed to get the raid emotes. Right, of course. That makes sense. Makes sense. What time is it for me? 7:33 a.m. Yeah, I've been up since like, well, I didn't really sleep. I tried to, but it didn't work. But I got up at 4:15 to do the stream. What's the difference between Chloe and Fia? Oh yeah, Chloe wants player housing. Fia does not. Simple difference. Oh my god, sub goal! Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god, you guys are amazing. I'm so sorry, you should have asked first. It's fine, I'm the minority, I'm aware. But no, they've been saying for years that to do player housing requires like enough work, enough dev work that something else will be missing. So, you know, that's fun to look forward to. On top of that, there are that many people who want player housing from all these different types of games, which means that everyone's going to have different expectations of how the system works and what they want from it, which means that no matter what they bring out, there are going to be a lot of people who aren't happy enough with it, and they will bitch and moan. Nothing will ever be perfect. Yeah, so it's just going to cause a whole bunch of shit fights because you're going to have, you know, people who are like, I wanted more endgame content and I wanted less, you know, more of this kind of stuff, and then I wanted player housing but not like this, and it's just going to be a fucking shit fight. It's just, I know people are crying out for it, but just because you think you want it doesn't mean you actually want what they're going to bring, you know? It's, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that part of it. It's gonna be shit. Said that years ago. They said that 2 years ago, Kenzie. Like, while War Then was in development, they said that. A bit closer to fear, skepticism is concerned. Maybe if they're cutting season 4, that could be where the dev time... No, they're not cutting season 4 and just leaving it blank, Lilia. They're cutting season 4 to move... Well, we are assuming, we don't know for a fact. If there is no season 4, it's because that space is gonna be taken up by an earlier expansion, which takes even more dev time than a season 4 would, considering that season 4 usually reuses old season stuff. So not having a season 4 means even less dev time. Plus we've had 2 rounds of layoffs this year. 2 rounds of fucking layoffs this year. There are not enough devs to do all this stuff. There just aren't. There's also not enough artists to do all this stuff. No one, like, there are going to be very few people who are actually happy with how player housing turns out. Putting it out there. Viewpoint for sure. Yeah, Fear just wants us to stay as homeless murder hobos. Absolutely. Whereas I'm open to play with you whenever. Joyous journey is on. Should be quick to level up. Nice. You think you want it, but you don't. Like WoW Classic. No. No. WoW Classic had Nostalrius. They had a demonstrated, this is how it could work, and it is working. So they could literally, like, copy-paste. In fact, they, you know, got the Nostalrius people in to talk about how they did certain things. Time is money, friend. Sure, there were things that were different about it, but it still was a thing. Adds in a couple minutes. So, like, it had a proven track record. Player housing only has a proven track record in other games. Doesn't mean jack shit for WoW, unfortunately. But we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. I just hope that everyone who's super excited understands that they're not going to get everything that they want out of it. They can't. It's impossible. It is actually impossible to please everybody. And so in order to please some, others will need to be disappointed. So yeah, just calm your jets, folks. Calm your jets. Garrisons has some kind of track record. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. In fact, that 2022 thing, when they're talking about if you want the levels of customization that you see in other games, they have to rewrite a whole chunk of the code because it just doesn't exist in World of Warcraft. In fact, it not only does it not exist, but the code prevents it from existing, which is why we had garrisons where you would chop and change a building in a predetermined slot. How many people are going to be happy if they get one spot on a wall to hang a dragon head and you get to choose between Onyxia and Nefarian? And do you know what I mean? Like, if it's just predetermined slots that you can chop and change, there are going to be people who are very upset about that. Why can't we have it like this game? So yeah, it's just take a deep breath, guys. Make sure that you're not tying up your entire happiness and personality in the fact that player housing is coming, because I don't want to see people get that upset by it. It makes me angry when people take it out on the devs, and it makes me heartbroken when I see people I care about upset. I've never been one to be vehemently against something before knowing anything about it, but we do know things about it though, Kenzie. That's the parts about it that I know are why I'm upset. Have however been against something once we actually got the info. Yeah, don't try to make it look like I'm upset without knowing anything. We have discussions with devs for years talking about this stuff, and relatively recently. Not just, oh, but that's old info. Like, this is actually new shit. I just don't want to see people get pissy and or upset, and I think that's reasonable. I think Blizzard would have been better off just not doing it, given how many people they're going to upset with this, but we'll see. It would be like that, predetermined spots of stuff, which is not a bad thing, IMO. I'd be okay with that. No, I don't think it's a bad thing either, but there will be a large portion of the player base who do think it's a bad thing. That's my whole issue. It's my whole issue. Heavy player housing, it's not something I'll spend too much time on as long as I can explore zones and find cool hunter pets, I'm content. And what if it meant that they cut a zone from what they intended to do with Midnight, and you get another expansion with no new hunter pet types? Because instead all their effort's going into player housing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are a finite number of dev hours that are available for this stuff. When they said player housing would require, like, the level of development would be you'd likely cut a raid tier, right? But that doesn't mean that it's a raid tier that's going to be missing. It'll be the little things. You think about what's needed for player housing. Obviously, there's, like, base level coding to implement the ability to do it. Then there's art. People complain about recolors now. If you've got artist hours going towards making player housing stuff. Yes, I know that, you know, they had Bulwark of Azeroth and they had a Head of Onyxia, so they can use old assets and chop them up and make these new things, and that's great. That is fantastic use of time and existing assets, 100%. But there will be new things, because if there's not, people will get upset. And so there's, you know, what will that look like? What will that look like? I want a dev blog on them. I don't care about seeing the art. I don't care about seeing how it's going to function. What I want is a dev blog explaining the hurdles that they had, how they overcame them, all that. That's what I want to see, the technical shit.
Good evening, heroes of Azeroth. My name is Derek Duke, music director and composer at Blizzard Entertainment. I'm very honored to join you here in Switzerland today.
Yeah.
To share this historic World of Warcraft moment with you. While our adventure is not yet completely over with, we still have some surprises left for you. It is my privilege to introduce our artist, the 21st Century Orchestra and its conductor, Ludwig Wicki. Our chorus, Tale of Fantasy, and its two special guests, Ardito and Madrigaz Gospel. An event like this wouldn't be possible without the creative forces behind the music as well. It's been the honor of my life to have worked alongside them all, and we're so pleased so many have traveled across the world to share this moment with us. I'd like to welcome to the stage Neil Acree, David Arkenstone, Russell Brower, Adam Burgess, Leo Kaliski, Jake Lefkowitz, William Liston, and Glenn Stafford.
Holy shit. These are like the original music people. Like, these are the people who made WoW sound the way it sounds. When you look on Spotify, the artist behind, like, Neil Acree is the artist behind most of the original soundtracks and stuff like that. Like, it's incredible.
Now I'd like to take a moment to extend a warm thanks to the Helvepic team producing these concerts, to the Blizzard Entertainment teams, and all the sponsors, to Remy Basso and the technical teams who've made it all possible for such a show to be presented to you today. I'd like to also take a moment to recognize another individual without whom Blizzard's involvement would not have been possible. Through her tireless efforts, she fought for this partnership at every stage of its development. You met her earlier today, our senior music producer, Charlotte Pyle. This event would never have been possible without the support of two very special people who have given heart and soul to this project to give you an unforgettable experience of a lifetime. Please welcome one of the project's initiators and Helvepic's marketing director, Julia Hanshin. Secondly, this concert is his tribute to the thousands of hours spent playing World of Warcraft, the raid leader behind this incredible adventure, Helvepic's CEO, project manager, artistic director, and our choir master, Alexandre Pican. We're not quite finished yet. There's a couple things left to share, so we'll get back to it. Thank you.
I don't understand that because profit is not the only indicator of success. Hold on. And you didn't. I'm not sure if that's actually profit. You said made. There's gross, which is like actually how much they take in, and then after you spend, there's net, which is like how much they've actually profit they've made. So it's not just about money coming in either. It's a lot more than that. Yep. Yeah, we know it's not that simple. Only reason I collects anything to pets. I mean, that amount of money means a future club bottom line to be lower. GameSpot interview with Ian about housing. Cool. Thank you. Alright, 2 hours ago. Home is where the Hearthstone is. I do like that. And I've wanted to make there's a bunch of cross-stitch patterns out there that are like home is where the Hearthstone is with the thing, and I want to make one, but I don't have a home yet. So, World of Warcraft is at long last getting player housing. Blizzard confirmed during its recent Warcraft 30th anniversary direct that the long-asked-for feature will be part of the MMORPG's future Midnight expansion, saving the biggest crowd-pleasing announcement of the live stream for last. In a short teaser video, a Death Knight walks into a nondescript house. Inside, the walls are adorned with the head of the Dragon Onyxia, various weapons and shields, a miniature goblin shredder, mech, and more. The weary adventurer puts down their sword, settles into a chair by the fire, and takes a sip from a mug adorned with the words, "Home Sweet Home." That's about all there is to go on, but GameSpot did get the chance to chat with WoW game director Ian Hazzikostas prior to the anniversary livestream about the big news. He confirmed the feature has been in the works for several years. I've definitely given some cagey and evasive answers about housing ever, while knowing secretly it was going to come to pass, Hazacostas said. We've known we've wanted to do it for real for some time. I think figuring out the how and when and making sure we can deliver something that's going to meet our players' expectations and exceed them. That's all the tricky parts to it. What we're announcing this week is a teaser, a hint, the slimmest of previews, just letting people know, hey, it's coming as part of Midnight. He said much more information will come over the course of the next year, but that the team is excited to have it out in the open so they can start to hear what players want from digital housing in Azeroth. Just excited to get that news out there and to begin a conversation so we can start hearing from players what they're hoping to see from a World of Warcraft housing system, Hazacostas said. Double check it matches what we're currently cooking, but also gives us some time to pivot and make sure we deliver what players are hoping for. That's very political speech because you can't. It's impossible. During BlizzCon 2023, Blizzard announced the next 3 WoW expansions all at once. You can tell this is his passion project. It's beautiful. That was wild. Holy shit. That was just... Whew.
We just have one more thank you. He's the mastermind of the technical team. Please welcome Remy, technical director.
Yeah, it's a fucking tech director. Yeah. Oh, I love it. That's perfect. Oh, that's perfect.
Thank you all again so much for coming. It means the world to all of us.
Sorry, right. The rest of that article just talks about, actually, no, it does say Midnight's not coming next year. So during BlizzCon 2023, Blizzard announced the next 3 WoW expansions all at once, and said it hoped to start delivering expansions at a faster pace than its normal 2-year expansion cycle. According to Blizzard's newly revealed 2025 WoW content roadmap, Midnight is not coming next year, though more details about the expansion will be revealed next summer. Hazakostas noted that even though Midnight isn't coming next year and players will still be playing The War Within in 2025, the team is dedicated to keeping the game's update cadence going at a steady pace while still getting a full-fledged new expansion ready in, quote, in a timely manner. Players' housing in WoW was just one of many Warcraft-related announcements to come out of the Warcraft 30th anniversary stream. Blizzard additionally announced remastered versions of Warcraft 1 and 2, available now, a StarCraft crossover for Hearthstone, and what's next for WoW Classic. So that just sounds like a whole lot of politicking. The fact that they've actually been working on it for years doesn't surprise anybody. That doesn't, we knew that, they're not just gonna pull a rabbit out of a hat. They had to have been working on it for ages. But there's no actual information there on how it's gonna work and shit. So, but the fact that we're not, Midnight's not next year, means it's not December, which makes me happy. Means that the devs actually get a fucking break. Revenue of 1.6 billion in Q4. Yeah, revenue doesn't mean profit. They are two very different words. Yeah, revenue is how much money they actually make, how much money comes into the bank accounts. It doesn't talk about, it doesn't take into account salaries they're paying out or any licensing or depreciation or rent on buildings or blah, blah, blah. All of that has to come out of that 1.68 billion. And I know 1.68 billion, that's a fuck ton of money. That's a fuck ton of money. But they're also a really big company and they spend a shit ton of money. That out of that 1.68 billion has to come the sandwiches that they put in the staff break rooms, every little bit of money that they spend has to come out of that. So that doesn't necessarily indicate much, unfortunately. You can make $2 billion on unlikely, but as a sole trader, or as a 2,000 person company. And there's very different, do you know what I mean? It's, yeah. But I get what you're saying. And layoffs may not have been necessary. But it is a business decision, and they don't take those kind of business decisions lightly, because especially in this market where layoffs cause bad press. People boycott games because of layoffs and shit, you know? So it's they're not just gonna lay off for the fun of it, that's for sure. Doesn't have much meat to it, but it's a little bit. That ain't a Death Knight though, Lamau, yeah. Well, where they get Death Knight from? Yeah, good question. They've got that one dude on staff who, like, you play games, right? I mean, it's GameSpot, hopefully, but anyway. Game journalism in a nutshell. That response definitely went through PR. Well, everything that comes out of his mouth comes through PR. It has to. Otherwise, like, they got to get their stories straight before they all start talking about it, you know? I've been saying for years that we can't do this while secretly we were already working on it. Is the most Ian has costest thing Ian has ever said. Well, yeah, but they can't talk about shit until it, like, because can you imagine? Can you imagine if 7 years ago he said in an interview, oh yeah, we're working on it. And then it hasn't happened until, you know, 2026? Like, nah, they can't talk about that shit. Anyway, honestly, if 11.3 is a Remix Legion season, I could see this working. If 11.27 leads into 12.0, I'm struggling to see where they're finding the time. They said this from Wrath. What part? All of it. Huh? And unironically, BFA Remix would be a great fit thematically for Midnight 12.3 if they follow the same pattern. That means they would be skipping WOD Remix. Yeah, but they also skipped remixes of every expansion up to Mists. So, like, mostly joking, but I don't think WOD Remix would ever be well received. Agreed. Yeah, agreed. It's beautiful. That Orchestra 10 out of 10, I know, right? Revenue is cash in, net profits what matters, correct, yeah. And that's, yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff does tend to be shared in the financial documents and stuff, but it's hard to squeeze out a singular figure from those kind of, because net profit isn't really what matters to investors either. Like, you know, like revenue, how much money you're bringing in tends to be what matters to investors, but then that's not what dictates how the rest of the business works. It's corporate shit is complicated. Welcome to capitalism. Engineers are expensive, especially in California, even if they do reportedly lowball offers. Yeah, CEOs are even more expensive. Fucking hell. Love your insight on your behind the scenes. Oh, thank you, Walt. I appreciate that. Like, to be very clear, I don't know any, like, I know, you know, the definition of revenue versus profit and stuff. Like, I know that stuff, but like, when it comes to dev hours and all that kind of shit, I don't know. I don't have any inside Blizzard information on how they run their business or anything like that. I do have what some would refer to as common sense. And I've worked finance in businesses from small not-for-profit to multinational corporation. And so I know enough about the general stuff that we can extrapolate. And I try to do so from a kindness perspective, like trying to understand all viewpoints, kind of like, yeah. But it's messy. I can't talk about this publicly. Thinks way back to comments about Emerald Dream, or when they revealed Path of Titans at BlizzCon. Yes. On YouTube, people who haven't played obviously would want to try it, but for most, it's unappealing to return there. Profit indicates growth potential, revenue indicates stability. Yes, one way of looking at it from a shareholder perspective. Absolutely, kind. Thank you for your insight. Yeah, 100%. Investors want margin. They want to know what the multiplier is based on the money they spent. Balance sheets can hide a lot, which is taking items of the P&L is profit and loss. A profit and loss statement basically shows like this is the money that we made and this is the money that we spent. And this is where our final position is at the end of all that. Yeah, P&Ls are a very top level kind of, for example, the most recent traditional job that I worked was a small not-for-profit. We had, I think, 13 staff members. And our profit and loss statement was a page and a half. for the entire financial year. Because it's like profit is like, ticket sales, bar sales, merch sales, and gift cards, and that's like literally it. And then the loss is like salary, stock, depreciation, blah blah. Like it's top level categories, but it gives you an overview of like where the business is making money, where it could improve on making money, where the money's going out, where you could like potentially increase your margins by shaving some loss off somewhere, that kind of stuff. Also looks for grand inefficiencies as well, which is nice. It's a useful thing, but it's not the Bible of the company, if that makes sense. It's not the be all and end all. It is just a good thingamajig. Business have ways to make things look better. They do. Your take on the behind the scenes, then lol, appreciate. I can see them using a model of 3 6-month seasons followed by a short 3-month season 4 and remix combined into a 1-month pre-patch. I think 3-month season 4 people would panic. Like I just don't like. I don't think they can call it season 4 and have it be that short, because I think people be like, how the hell are we supposed to get all this done? And I feel like I'm rushed. I feel like I have to. I personally can't see that. I would expect instead 3 6-month seasons with a pre-patch kind of overlapping a bit and then a new expansion, and that's it. I think that remix wouldn't sit neatly into a season. I think remix would be a thing that has like half into one season and half into another one, so that people can like they do the seasonal stuff. The people who push, they get it done real quick. They hop into remix and experiment a little bit, and then they jump out and go do the next season, while people who are wanting to play remix instead continue on with their journey a little longer. I don't think that they have to have a nothing season to have remix, personally. Because most people played remix for like a month, if that. Most people. Some people think it's the only thing matter for modern work going forward. Love the kindness and understanding. I try. It doesn't always work. I'd personally like it. I just know that most people have rose-tinted glasses about how the game played back then. True, especially the garrison gold farming experience. The bad experience is quite vivid. Garrison gold farming. What was native? But people didn't like garrisons. They complained about garrisons because the big complaints I heard was that they felt isolated. That there wasn't really a capital city for the expansion, and so it didn't feel like an MMO. And that if this was Blizzard's answer to player housing, then they sorely missed the mark. But player housing is gonna it's gonna have that same isolation anyway. Beyond that, people were really upset about content that didn't eventuate. There was stuff that was announced that was supposed to happen that got cut for a variety of reasons, and people were very upset about that stuff. And then at the end of the expansion, you had a Hellfire Citadel, which was a raid that lasted almost a year. Like one raid tier that lasted almost a year. So those were the big complaints that I personally heard. I did play at the time, obviously. I started streaming towards the end of WOD. Like I started streaming while we were in HFC. So I didn't get as much of a slice of the community as I do these days. But those were the big ones that I heard. Only few who wanted everything spent 3 months in there grinding. No, there were plenty of other people as well. There's never going to be another garrison level farm in the game. They're currently trying everything they can to drag all the gold out of the economy. My problem wasn't with garrisons, it was with Storm Shield. Why? They're trying to get everything to drag the gold out of economy, and yet they have world quests that give you 850 gold. I think if they wanted to get gold out of the economy, there's better what they could make it happen. I think player housing can work as long as it's not a hub but a collection cosmetic place. But then people are going to complain, why can't I have this in my garrison, in my house? Why can't I have that? Why can't I have the other? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who are going to want to have all that accessibility at their housing. But I mean, we'll see. From what I've heard, it's almost downright hate. Yes. HFC lasted 14 months. Oh, it was over a year. Right, okay. I enjoyed every single month of it. Great raid. I enjoyed HFC, but towards the end of it, it did get very boring. It was very same. It could be fun. I'd hate to see a new zoned hub. How have you been? I'm exhausted, Jebby. We just watched the Warcraft Direct. I've been up since 4:15. Well, out of bed since 4:15, but I only got to bed about midnight, and I didn't really sleep. So I'm going to be heading to bed in a minute just to try to get at least a nap in. 850 gold, 27k if I do that on all my alts. It is an end level, like it's a max level group world quest because, you know, but still. Make a new profession, call it construction, build your own house. Good luck with that. Still decent amount. It's also lowest weekly gold since Legion. Yeah, okay, fair. Interesting. I didn't know that stat. Right, I'm gonna fuck off because I'm really goddamn tired and I've got a throbbing headache and I'm done talking about housing. I'm finished. Okay. Maybe. Let's go here. All right. It's quiet without the game music in the background, isn't it? Housing amount on the new Longboy on the Yak. You have most amenities you need. It's as much of a hub as it gets. Good night. Right, Westwell. Thank you guys. I will see you next time. There's a way for fear for IRL reasons. Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. You're not wrong. 14 months looking for a home. I'm tired, y'all. I'll go sit up as well. It's only 10 p.m. Oh no, Cara. It's the emotional exhaustion. It happens. All right. That's not how you spell raid. I don't know what I just typed, but it wasn't raid. Grab your copy paste if you do not have the Fiamma Hype emote, either because you are not a subscriber or because you have not unlocked it using your channel points, either, which is totally fine. You can still copy and paste your entire message. Replace the Fiamma Hype with your favorite Happy Hypey celebrator emote and drop it into Bear's chat. We get their Bear's Adventures as a lovely human. We're going to go say hi, hello. And she's also got the drop turned on, which is great. I'll see you tomorrow. Twitch.tv/Fiamma/schedule for my usual go live times in your time zone. Take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other. Love. Mwah. Bye, guys.
Job's done.